Fantastic. Where you going? See you. See you next time.
Let me just get this score thing going, and that'll be good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Skybus Oval in Lauderdale for Round 1 Tasmanian State League action for season 2022. You're on the Daily Potato Co. live stream. Brent Costello calling this one alongside Andrew Cooling. Drew, good afternoon to you.
Pleasure to be here, Brent, and looking forward to this one as we kick off the TSL season, and fantastic to have every game live streamed this year. What a treat that will be. Thanks to the Daily Potato Company. Thanks to their support, that is all possible. And an interesting game in prospect here at Skybus Oval as we get our first look at the Lauderdale Bombers and Kingborough Tigers for 2022.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. I think we've got the game of the round here this afternoon. It's going to be an absolute beauty. These two teams formed a bit of a rivalry in recent times. Their games have gone right down to the wire, and I expect it to be a bit like that this afternoon. A few missing from Lauderdale's lineup. Alan Christensen, the notable absentee. Magro, too, their star recruit, is yet to arrive in Tasmania. And Michael Blackburn, who they've picked up from Lindisfarne, won't play this afternoon either. But apart from that, pretty full-strength sides. So looking forward to seeing them go head-to-head, Drewy.
Yeah, it could be a season where we see, COVID impacting things and weeks where teams are going to be missing 5 or 6. So good to have just about full-strength squads. Minus those few you mentioned to start the year. Kingborough, pretty close to full strength, I think, looking at that list. And it does set the scene for what should be a pretty interesting game here. I think despite the fact it's at the Bombers' home ground, I'd have the Tigers just as slight favourites heading into this one. Of course, everyone chasing the Launceston Blues this year. That's the big question. Can these type of sides bridge that gap this season? It's
going to be tough. Yeah. We know that. They've built on their squad that won them the flag last year, bringing in Jackson Thurlow, of course, who played for Geelong and Sydney. So it's going to make them even better. Looking at their emergencies today as well just goes to show the depth of their squad. So it is going to be tough, but these two teams are probably going to be, along with North Hobart, the two best teams in the south, we think. So, yeah, a lot of pressure on them to do well, and I think Kingborough will. I think them particularly, they've been getting better each and every year under Trent Bormala, and we spoke to him during the week at the press conference, and we asked him what his goals were for this year, and his answer is just to improve on what they did last year, which was a 4th place finish. So hopefully we'll see that this year. I think they've got certainly got the squad to do it. Kieran Lovell back in that team, who's an absolute ball magnet, former Hawthorn player, of course. He's been over in the Sandfield in more recent times. They've brought in Jack Tompkinson from the Brisbane Lions Academy, or former Brisbane Lions Academy product. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him, particularly this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always enjoy coming to watch Elijah Reardon. He's an absolute entertainer. He's box office. Eddie Cole, another one there for Kingborough, who should provide some highlight stuff. Josh McGuinness, of course, for Lauderdale, very reliable customer. There's plenty of good players across all the lines here this afternoon, and we're just about in readiness here as the players gathering in the middle, and really looking forward to this one to kick off the season. It looks like it's going to be Smith in the ruck going up against Gardner to kick things off.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at that Lauderdale experience in the middle there. You got Smith, Walsh, Franklin, these types of guys. Siggins, of course, as we get underway for season 2022 for these two football clubs. Sam Siggins wins it out of the middle, throws it on the boot inside 50. Players went for the footy in the air, but picked up beautifully by Elijah Reardon. Look at him running there across half-back. He's a beautiful-looking player. Took that wonderful mark we saw down at the Twin Ovals a couple of years ago now. And now the Tigers are away up the wing here, the commentary side wing here at Skybus Oval, but that's gone straight down the throat of Will Poland.
Poland with the intercepting mark there, and he'll head into the middle. All in dispute now as the Bombers look to go forward for the first time. Hooker sends them deep inside 50. Hits the deck. Who's the first to react? It's Elijah Reardon, who picks it up and clears once more. His second rebound 50 in the opening moments, and just about finds a target. Good tackle laid though. Falls to Eddie Cole, who has to dance through, and then they'll head further to half forward. And a strong mark taken there by Lane. Jordan
Lane, yes, his kick wasn't his best work. It was smothered off the boot, and the Bombers have it now on the far wing here at Skybus Oval. Jordan Lane, another inclusion for the Tigers over the off-season. Here's Bryce Walsh now. Has a look to go inside 50. What's he got on offer? His kick goes straight to Reardon, though. Plenty of touches for him early on. Got the handball over the top. And the Tigers through the middle. Here he is, Kieran Lovell. Good to see him back in this team in 2022. Absolute star. What about this man, Tyler Carter? Had the ankle surgery last year. Really nasty ankle injury. And back playing footy for the Tigers.
Yeah, great to see him back out there as a strong tackle's laid on Poland. He's not got it away in time. They're going to be slightly more red hot on the holding the ball rule this year. Luke Graham wins the free kick. It's going to test his range here. He'll kick from about 50. Doesn't look overly keen to take the shot, but with no options presenting, he'll go back now and set sail for home for the first score of the match. This will take his best work here, Luke Graham, and in the end he opts against it and just chips it into the pocket. A good option, and he finds Lovell, who's just snuck forward. He's going to be an important player for this Kingborough outfit this year, one of the real stars of the competition with that AFL experience, as you mentioned, Brent. And he has an opportunity here to find the goal. It's a tight angle. He's kicking from 50. He launches it right to the line, and trying to take the mark there was Lane, and off hands, claiming it was Graham, but the umpire says touch for a behind.
So Lauderdale now to bring it out of defence. Straight down the guts here at Skybus. Tigers turn the footy over though. Ball spills to ground. The 231s go at it, and Broomhall and Godomski, and the umpire says, I'll have that, fellas. We'll have a ball up. Tigers getting a close watch this season. They'll be the big improvers, I think. The list is very, very nice indeed. Kicked off out of the air was the captain, Lockie Clifford. That one almost taken there, wasn't taken then by Campbell. Inside 50 now for the Tigers. Here's Lovell again, has another shot on goal, little Kiz, and what a start that is for him back in Tasmania. Kieran Lovell gets the Tigers' first goal for season 2022.
Just instinctual, wasn't it? Just slammed it on the boot. Didn't have a lot of time to get that shot off, but he picks out the middle. He's done all the scoring early in this one, has Lovell. He looms as a real star, real key man for Kingborough, and he kicks his side's first goal here. Very nicely done. He's a player of considerable class, and there was no hesitation there. He just lined up the goals and drilled it. So some nice work to get the first goal of the season, and back into the middle we go here. Hayden Smith will compete in this one. Up against Tompkinson. kick manufactured by Lovell. He's running hot early in this one. This one pumped away. Leading there is Hooker. And just stepping over the line is College.
So a nice start for the Tigers on the road. Always tough to go down and play footy at Skybus Oval, we know that. Saw North Shore come over, Darren Winter's club from Geelong, and play Lauderdale last weekend, and Lauderdale managed to beat them. Bryce Walsh's kick smothered off the boot. Here's Siggins now, trickles over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Mentioned Will Campbell before, second in the Lynch medal last season behind Brad Cox-Goodyear. So another star of this team. There's Tompkins, who we mentioned him earlier, product of the Brisbane Lions Academy. It's a big unit. Good to see him playing footy in Tasmania. Here's Lovell again. He's had plenty of it early in this game. Cole now heads to the wing. Nice grab. Was it taken? It was indeed. George O'Neill. In fact, it was out of bounds. So when it comes again, Tompkinson got first use. Siggins now does it cleverly to himself, and umpire's blowing the whistle here. Looks like it's a free kick going the way of Lauderdale, and it will go to another star inclusion of this team. In fact, it's going even further back to Siggins by the look of it. But Dylan, I know it is going to Dylan Fife, and great to see him back in Tasmania too, Drew. He's been an absolute star of the TSL for many years, inside 50, but straight down the throat there of Godomski.
Yeah, I think we'll expect better things of him there this year than that from Fife. Not his best work, but yeah, a real star inclusion. As that's a nice little switch kick that might just allow them to break away, but mishandled, just invites the door for Sutton to win it back for the Bombers. Hands and knees, the handball fell to the Tigers. Dancing through half back, the Tigers now, again, just a little loose in possession, and Ratcliffe intercepts. The skill's just a little rusty early on, and there's another turnover. Neither team can keep a hold of the football for now. Luke Graham intercepting. He'll launch them in deep. He's got a target and working. Wouldn't quite fall. Smothered away by Kenny at the last second. And they'll pile on. And there should be a ball up inside 50 as a racket drags that one underneath. As the Kingborough Tigers doing the bulk of the attacking early on in this one. Lane battling away with Smith. Unable to get a decisive break, and good intent about the attack on the man early in this one. Two sides pretty fired up for the contest.
Up it goes again, inside 50 here for the Tigers. It's one down by Lane, but the Bombers do well. Here's Sutton now, bringing it out of defence. Finds a target, and they play on quickly here, the Bombers. It goes inside there, forward 50 arc now. They're into attack. Storming out was Josh McGuinness. He wheels around, has a look at goals. Joshy McGuinness, the captain of the Bombers. He strikes. It's their first of season 2022.
Pure strength there, wasn't it? Just bounced a defender off him, said, "You're not bringing me down," turned and fires truly, and it's a steadying goal for his side, a captain's goal. They just needed that one, I think, to get a foothold in this match early on, and the captain delivers, and that was just imposing from the big fella.
You a fan of the air raid siren that goes off?
Massive
kick a
fan,
goal?
massive fan. I love the Suns' little siren in the AFL, and I'm a big fan of the air raid siren. More of that, please. Something a little different.
Well, hot start here. It's good to see. We expect a close contest. 7 plays 6. Almost 8 minutes gone in this opening term.
So Smith once again will duel here. Comes down. Cole tried to sock it off the deck. Couldn't quite make contact. He's able to get a second crack at it and tumbles it forward. It'll take an awkward bounce. Landed in the hands of Campbell. He's immediately wrapped up. Trying to get the handball away was Hooker. Slung as he did and did so. And now they'll look to bounce off half back with a bit of authority here. The Bombers. They head towards half forward. Reardon there defending Francis. Picked it up. Got it back to Richmond. Richmond swings them inside 50. The fist came from McCulloch. That looked a little bit high. The umpire says no, holding the football. So it'll be the Tigers' ball. Nicely won back by McCulloch, who wheel and send an ugly tumbling punt towards the wing. Picked off there by Williams, who drives the Bombers forward, but no one really there for him, and fell out the back for Elijah Reardon, who's been very busy early in this one. Shows some composure and chips inside to Max College. He looks up. That one almost smothered, but managed to work its way to Samuel Digan. who wheels around and will head towards the far wing. Good strong mark taken there by Eddie Cole under pressure. Good safe pair of hands from the Tigers midfielder. He again opts for a short little chip into the middle and found Tompkinson. They're building slowly but surely, and now they look to drive it forwards. A searching kick in the Marcus Gardner direction. The big fella was always looking for the safety of the boundary line, and he finds it.
See number 21 there for Lauderdale, another inclusion. Lennon Marlin played some footy with West Coast in the Waffle in WA, also the Perth Demons, and recently up for Palmerston in the Northern Territory. So he's going to be a big inclusion alongside Magro, who's also been playing up there in the Northern Territory. Fife gets a little handball out. Smith, and now Lauderdale try to work this one forward through Ratcliffe. Bounces over the back, falls out the back for Sammy Siggins. He has a look at goal, and he kicks truly Sam Siggins. Lauderdale gets it second, and they lead this one now by 5 points.
Some pretty good goal kicking early on from both these sides. All three goals in the match haven't exactly been regulation chances, but they've been slammed through, and there's some big names hitting the score sheet early on. In Siggins, the latest to join in, McGuinness, and they are really making an impact on this game. Lovell for Kingborough. The star players shining early on. They are the match winners for their respective sides, and making their presence felt in the opening 10 minutes of this one, and showing signs of being a pretty even contest developing here at the tip. And looking forward to what the rest of the afternoon has in store, if this is the standard to expect, as Smith goes up against Tompkinson. Trying to work free was Lachlan Clifford. The big fella follows up and just tumbles them forward. Plenty of numbers back there, and just getting coat hanging a little there. Hooker a little too high. The free kick will go the way of the Tigers, and it'll be a shot on goal from about 45 directly in front here for Graham. Definitely gettable. An opportunity to put his side back ahead. Just got to make sure they're tackling low. Just slip up a little bit. Liable to concede the free kick, and it's a big man tackling someone slightly smaller stature. But Luke Graham will go back here. He is a noted goal kicker, and he put his side ahead. He sets sail from 45. It's drifting across the face the whole way and won't trouble the scorers.
It's my first look at Tompkinson this afternoon. I haven't seen him since he arrived in the state. He's a big unit.
Enormous.
He's
enormous
huge.
unit.
He'll be very handy this season. There's no doubt about that. Great to see players of his calibre coming back home to play footy here in Tasmania. Ball comes back in. Walsh wrapped up by Campbell, but he got away in the end. Now the ball spills to ground, and the umpire says, I'll have that. 5 point margin to the home team. Expecting big things from the Bombers this year too. Disappointing campaign last season, but they've recruited well, as we say. Here's a chance for the Tigers again. Little ground grubber kick. Didn't go far at all, but Tyler Carter couldn't get the welcome back he was hoping for, and threw for a minor score. Cuts the lead back to just 4 points, 12 plays 8.
Yeah, big fella just trying to dribble it through, but no good when there's two people between you and the goals there, Carter. Just needed to just go have a bit of a drop punt there rather than tumbling that one through, as Hooker looks to repel here for the Bombers. He gets some purchase on it. That's a good mark taken by Harry Richmond. Keeps things moving quickly. The handball off, and they continue to move by hands here. Hooker's followed on. Handball back. As Griggs looking to apply some pressure. Oh, the big ruckman flying in there. Tompkinson making his presence felt and winning the holding the ball decision. He's making an impact early on this one. The big unit, Tompkinson. Reardon there to offer him an outlet. And unusually untidy there from Elijah Reardon as he puts that one out in the full. So the Bombers will take back over. Centre wing here at Skybus Park. Hooker taking his time, assessing the options. Told to get moving by the umpire, and he does so eventually. Swings them towards half forward. Almost a great mark taken by Richmond. Couldn't quite bring it down. Competing in the air was Kenny, as the Tigers will look to bounce off. Nice work here from Zach Adams. A reliable customer, and a strong mark taken on the wing down there by Lane.
Yeah, and speaking of big units, what an inclusion Jordan Lane is, as we said before. Premiership player, Signet last year, and now finds himself in the TSL. Big tackle from Carter from behind. Managed to try and work it forward here. Lauderdale do well though, their defence. Sutton got it off now to Lennon Marlin. Goes to half forward, no one home though, and bounces out. Is it out on the full or is it a boundary through? Looks like it's out in the full, and Elijah Reardon will take the kick.
Just a bit of wind impacting things maybe early on here, Breno. A few out in the full early on that have just hugged the boundary line a little too tight.
Nice, we had a boundary rider to go down to, Drewy. We'll have to work on that for next year. But great to bring you this one on the Daily Potato Co live stream. That's another terrific grab by Tompkinson. Just say, Drew, he's had a real impact on this game early doors. Kick. Now he's Lovell steaming through. Had some time in the sample last year. Finds a target. And they want to play on quickly here. They do in the end. Through Connor Salter. Good to see him playing TSL for Kingborough as well. And suddenly the Bombers turn it over inside the centre square here. Big tackle. Umpire says holding the footy.
Yeah, good decision. Made no effort there. Adams just wanted the stoppage. Great call from the umpire.
Absolutely. Here's another chance inside 50 for the red and black. Kick off the ground by McGuinness, but out it goes.
Midway point of quarter number one. It's the home side leading by 4 points. An even contest so far, as Will Francis just looking a little bit proppy off the ball there as he hobbles towards the line. So keep an eye on that one as Tigers will look to repel Adams. Slightly sloppy handball looking for Lovell. Back goes Franklin. And then firing from some distance, it's drifting offline.
Sutton, I think it was.
Yeah, Sutton, and just a behind there for the Lauderdale.
See the change up in the ruck there with Gardner coming in. Tompkinson, that'll be a really nice position for Trent Baumler to be in this season, being able to switch between those two particular gentlemen. Obviously, a lot's been relied upon with Gardner the last few years. Here's a chance for the Bombers. They turn it over again. Here's Bryce Walsh, the heart and soul of the Lauderdale Footy Club. Looks at goal, but off to the left for a minor score.
Just let slightly off the hook here at the Tigers. A couple of misses there for Lauderdale. The first blemishes on their scoreboard as Elijah Reardon saunters out of defence and then just looked massage one up there towards Big Gardner, who attacked the ball well. And Ruckman's kick just about works out to Tyler Carter. Under pressure from Bodie Kingston. So just slow things down and assess the options as he retreats once more back to Gardner. Reardon lurking deep, but he'll go towards centre wing instead. Went looking for Campbell. Over the top though, it was Rackett. Just off the deck there from Marlin. And gaining a bit of meterage. But it did float out on the full in the end, so it'll be a free kick going the way of Gardner. Just rather slashed at that one off the deck. And absolutely no rush here, Kingston Tigers. They've probably been a bit more methodical in their build-up. Slightly slower than Lauderdale to attack with speed off half-back so far in this one as he chips that one short, and Digan had to mark that. He was surrounded by 4 Lauderdale Bombers. He did well to show a safe pair of hands as this one's swung into the middle of the park. Another good mark taken there, this time by Donnelly. And Donnelly sends it wide where he had McCulloch waiting in space. Quick hands over the top for Eddie Cole. He in turn gives it back and they'll go inside 50. Searching ball looking for Salter. Defence always favoured to win that one. And again looking to bounce off half back with speed of the Bombers. They run into a little bit of trouble and they're forced wide, but they've done pretty well here. Worked it forward. And they'll find a man in space, and that's Harry Richmond, who's taken a few marks early in this one. He's allowed some room to run and send it deep. Important contest this. The size was with Walsh, but taken away by Reardon and finding the safety of the boundary line.
Like seeing Joshy McGuinness in the forward line for the Bombers. It's good to see. And speaking of forward lines, Jordan Lane just adds so much, I reckon, to Kingborough's forward line that Tyler Carter was their main target. Then he got injured last year. They had to get creative. Now they've got him and Lane down there. It's going to be cause headaches for the defence of some teams. We've seen the umpire blow the whistle here. It looks like we'll get a free kick on goal for Lauderdale. And it'll go to Harry Richmond. And we know he's a goal-kicking machine, particularly down here at Skybus Oval. Called his name many a time through the big sticks. Wouldn't this be a nice little get for the Bombers? as we approach time on in this first term. Harry Richmond comes in, splits the middle, makes no mistake, and Lauderdale are out to a 12-point lead.
Yeah, they've just worked their way on top as the quarter has progressed here, the Bombers. They've definitely had the better of the last 10 minutes. They have another goal to show for it as they skip out to a 12-point lead, and just some big targets in the forward 50 causing some problems. But a little sloppy there from Gardner, just going the shirt grab in the marking contest. Coach won't be happy with that. That's a very dangerous position to give away a free kick that doesn't really achieve a whole lot.
Coach killer, I think they call it, Drew, don't they?
I think they do, Brent. And I think that's a fair assessment of it. The big ruckman, he won't be in the good books for that. He'll have to make an impact to redeem himself as they compete in the middle once more. And again, it'll be the Bombers who go forward through Sam Siggins. Swings them deep. Strong fist from behind. Fell to Dylan Fife, who's wrapped up immediately in a strong Eddie Cole tackle. And perhaps a little unlucky that the ball up was called so quickly, as he would have got a high one. And then a little bit of afters there between he and Siggins off the ball. Plenty of feeling. You did mention there was a bit between these two teams, Brad.
100%. 100%.
As they'll try and force their way through here. The big fella, Hayden Smith, making his presence felt, but it'll be the Tigers who are able to rebound, although put under some pressure here was McCulloch. Slung as he kicked, and he sends it up in the direction of Ashland. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Good smother there from Franklin. The umpire has just spotted a little in the back free kick there, I think, which will relieve the pressure.
So hit time on in this opening term. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on the Daily Potato Co. live stream. Every TSL game streamed live in 2022 thanks to our friends at the Daily Potato Co. That's been turned over. The Tigers get it back though. Ends up in the hands of Lockie Griggs, who tries to centre the footy. Now Fife gets it off to Marlin. His kick isn't great in the end. And that's a nice smother though from Reece Sutton. One of my favourite players at the Dale, Reece Sutton. Been a veteran of this team, or is a veteran of this team, been playing for a very long time, and smooth mover. So we await the ball in. Tompkinson and Richmond. Falls out the back. Free kick, not paid. And now McCulloch swings it to the opposite side and switches play. Ball bouncing, and out of bounds it goes.
Doing a really good job locking the ball in here at the moment, Lauderdale. It's very hard for the Kingborough Tigers to rebound. They've been smothered and tackled every time they're trying, and they're just doing a really good job stifling them, building that forward pressure. And as we know, that often leads to scoring opportunities. They're under siege at the moment, this Tigers defence, holding on as Siggins sees that one over the line. There'll be another throw in, but repeat inside 50 entries and locking the ball in. Certainly controlling the contest at the moment after the Tigers perhaps had the slightly sharper start of the twos. Tompkinson will compete here with Richmond. Another free kick's been spotted. There's been plenty happening off the ball, and again it's going to go the way of the Bombers here. Just a little bit of discipline lacking so far. It's going to be Harry Richmond again with a chance to go back, and he looks confident. He's already slotted one through the sticks. It was a lovely straight kick on that occasion. Can he find a second for the quarter and extend the lead to 3 goals? He'll kick from about 45. He makes pretty good contact, but just didn't quite have the line on that occasion, drifting across the face for a minor score.
Beautiful day in Lauderdale. Slight breeze. But perfect conditions for round 1 of the TSL season. Tigers bring it back in. Kick wasn't great. And Lauderdale turn the footy over. They're going to have another chance to go and have a look at goal here. Poland lines up and gets the goal. Lauderdale running away with it now in the first quarter. And Will Poland, the unlikely goal kicker.
This has been some impressive football here from the Bombers. They're on top and they're making it count on the scoreboard. And since it might be a game that ebbs and flows a little bit, so you're going to need to take your chances when you are in the ascendancy. That's exactly what they're doing. They've slammed on a fourth. A 19-point lead, still with time left in this first quarter. And firmly on top. It'll be over to the Tigers to find a response, because right now they're really getting buried. It's been all one-way traffic for the last 10 minutes of play. It's been almost exclusively played at one end of the field. And they need to start winning the ball out of the middle a little here. Tompkinson again up against Smith, but once again it's Siggins looking to bounce away. Brought down and a good tackle by Cole, just impacted the handball. Allowed Lockie Clifford to pounce on the loose football, and he sends it towards the wing. Tackle laid there by Williams. Fell though to Adams, who is done for holding the ball. And this intensity, the attack on the man and tackling pressure, fantastic from the Bombers as they cop a little bit the other way there. Won't delay the inside 50 too long as they head in once more. Godomski first to the fall of the footy. Looks to clear the area, but a dangerous looking kick. Might just fall for the Bombers once more. Just out pointing big Lockie Griggs there. Got the handball away inside to Fife. Dylan Fife ran into trouble. Lockie Griggs claimed him. Fife from ground level, releases the handball. Looking to step through was Walsh. Brought down was McCulloch.
Good kick.
And a high tackle will relieve the pressure. They are under all sorts of pressure at the back here at the moment, the Kingborough Tigers.
Impressive start by Lauderdale. Bit of an unknown heading into this season. Said they didn't hit their straps last year. They've still got all these good experienced players though, and Daniel Willing said during the week that they relied a bit too much on their younger brigade last year. But they've topped up, they've added some real experience, some mid-range experience, and also the guys I mentioned from WA and the Northern Territory. So they're going to be hard to beat, it seems, in 2022. Lauderdale Footy Club, in it comes again. Smith got first use. Goes down. Inside the centre square. Sutton tried to scoop it up. Ball spills out the back, and McCulloch got it away, and now the Tigers have a little bit of space here. They have to go quickly though, and they do. One-handed grab for Gardner, didn't pay off. Now here's Soup Campbell. He loads up and goes deep inside 50 to the pocket. Out the back, handball, centred. Oh no! Connor Solder got it out the end to Lovell. Lovell wheels around, has a look at goal. It's just offline for a minor score, so didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to there, the Tigers. And they get a point for their efforts. 27 plays 9 here, Andrew Cooley.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity there for the Tigers. Lovell turning and firing, but they had the numbers. Just couldn't quite find the finish, and they needed that one as a bit of a settler. As that one, he was looking to bend it back on the breeze, but it didn't quite bend enough and floats out of bounds on the full. So, and the Tigers find something late in the quarter and pull the margin back within a couple of goals here before the break. Ben Donnelly goes inside and steers them inside 50. Plenty of numbers back for the Bombers and just floating back. Nice relieving mark taken in defence. And they look to just run a little bit of clock here perhaps as we tick towards the break. Called to play on, and we'll send them outside defensive 50. And a good mark taken from behind there by Tompkinson, who's been one of the bright spots in this first quarter for Kingborough. There haven't been too many of them, but the big fella has made his presence felt here, and he'll swing them inside 50 once more as this one just stands up in the air. Again, plenty of Bombers there tracking the flight of the ball. Trying to turn with it was the goal scorer Poland, and eventually works its way out. And Franklin's on short if he wants him. That's exactly where he heads. A little chip kick. And Matt Franklin goes inside. Finds Continenza. And again, the short kicking game, but that one just showed a bit too much of it. Turning over in a very dangerous area here. Deep inside 50, facing a 2-on-1's Marcus Gardner. Might do well just to force it out of play. And a pretty good result that in the end for the Tigers.
Free kick here, by the look of it.
He's pushed.
Now, we speak of the rivalry between these two teams. Will Poland, who's about to get the footy here, there was a bit of unhappiness, I think, when he left the Tigers a few years ago to go to Lauderdale. So that might be where it all stems from. They've had some close results, as we said, but I know that didn't go down too well at Tigerland, I don't think, when he left there. It's the rising star a few years ago of the competition. Looks like umpire's blowing the whistle again here. It'll be going the way of the Tigers. And Tompkinson again. A few possessions, Drewy.
He's been prominent, hasn't he?
He has. Here's Clifford, the captain. Goes long to the line. Spills out the back. Lovell's there lurking. Ball wrapped up. Umpire blows the whistle in the end. So a good spot here for the Tigers and the dying embers of this first term. They trail though at the moment by 3 goals. Up it goes. One down by Smith. Lauderdale's defence does well, and it's through for a rush behind.
Yeah, did well just to see that one through. The very definition of the last line of defence there from the Bombers. Won't be too long left in the quarter. Haven't been any major stoppages here, and we've ticked 29 minutes. A successful opening from the home side here. Still to perhaps get a little bit of distance here. And indeed, there is the siren to end quarter number one. The Lauderdale Bombers holding sway by 17 points. It's been a bright start for them. I suspect there might be a slight wind advantage to their end, but you can tell there
Tompkinson, look at him, the big fella. He's right in it.
No shortage of argy-bargy. Plenty of feeling out there. It's what we love to see. And the TSL live stream brought to you by the Daily Potato Company. 17 points to the margin at quarter time.
Yeah, loved it. Loved every bit of that first quarter. As we said, we expect this one to be the game of the round, and while the scoreboard shows an 17-point lead to Lauderdale, I think it's going to be a lot closer than that by the time we get to the final siren. As we said, these two teams have had some real battles in the last few years, and expect this one to go the same way. We might take a short break here on the live stream and come back with second quarter action very soon. Welcome back to Skybus Oval. Second quarter action in this TSL season opener between Kingborough and Lauderdale coming your way shortly. Entertaining opening term. Some scores from around the grounds though. At UTAS Stadium, North Launceston all over Glenorchy, 90 plays 19. And at Windsor Park, it's the reigning premiers dominating against North Hobart as well, 42 plays 9 in that game. And here, it is the home team Lauderdale leading by 17 points. Andrew Cooling, what did you make of the first quarter?
Yeah, bright start. I thought the Tigers jumped them a little in the first 5 minutes, showed a pretty good ability to win the ball out of the middle. But then, as they started to win the ball all out of the middle themselves, the Bombers, they really started to get on top and they locked it in. And the Tigers really struggled to move the ball off half-back, hitting a wall of red and black shirts there. And they're going to need to be a little better in that aspect if they're going to get back into this game. But the tackling intensity from the Bombers, absolutely outstanding in quarter number 1.
Well, I know they've had a really tough pre-season. Sam Siggins said it's the toughest pre-season he's had. They've ran and ran and ran. So they're in good nick. There's no doubt about that as we restart for this second term. Elijah Reardon, who was very busy early in this game. Smith. Now here's some chance for Sutton, who got the handball over the top. Franklin under immediate pressure. Spills out the back. Picked up by Cole, who wheels around and kicks it towards the attacking end for the Tigers this quarter, heading to the right of screen. Siggins does well on the end, gets rid of his opponent and kicks it to the far side of the ground. There's Will Poland, unlikely goal scorer in the first term, playing against his old team this afternoon. Goes short, finds Ratcliffe, gets it back to Poland. Nice crowd in here at Lauderdale this afternoon. Beautiful day for footy, as we mentioned. There's the turnover. Nice mark taken by Zach Adams, who plays on quickly, goes to the top of the square. Big fly! And it's that man, the big star recruit, Jack Tompkinson. He'll go back and have a shot on goal, and he's been great this game so far, Drewy.
Yeah, he's shown a real presence in the air and a willingness to attack the footy. And he looks like a pretty promising recruit, and he goes back here with a chance to kick badly needed goal to get things off and running in quarter number 2. The wind does seem to be favouring this end a little bit, and maybe that contributed to some of the Tigers' woes trying to get off half-back in the first half, because we just saw the exact same thing happen to the Bombers right there.
Brisbane Lions Academy he was a part of up in Queensland, Jack Tompkinson. In he comes. That one is offline to the left for a minus score.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there. Needs to be kicking those ones. Slight angle there, but you need the big ruckman to be going back and making chances like that count. 1 goal 5 so far here at the Tigers. Not quite been taking their chances as this one uses every inch of Skybus and then an inch more, and he's put it out on the full. And Eddie Cole will go back and from the tightest of angles perhaps have a shot, or might opt to square it to the top. The big men will be calling for it. So will we see a little banana type action, or we just square it up? Eddie Cole, a talented operator. He does the team thing, just squares it up to the big man. Was never going to go anywhere else. And an opportunity for Tompkinson, although working on a pretty tight angle here. He might have to go around on the left. He wants the space open to him. Just make sure the defenders back off, but that'll be a walk around on the left type operation here for the big ruckman, and he does just that. And he absolutely nails it. Lovely stuff from Jack Tompkinson, who's making an impact in this game early on. Probably been his side's best player, and he cuts the margin back to 10 points here at the start of quarter number 2.
What an addition he's been. We've only seen him for a quarter and a bit, but he looks every bit of a top 10 finisher in the Lynch medal so far, doesn't he? He's been everywhere. Jack Tompkinson, fantastic addition to this Kingborough side, as we said. Relied heavily on Marcus Gardner in recent times in the ruck, and now Jack Tompkinson into this Kingborough lineup, which is great to see. As you mentioned earlier, Kieran Lovell back as well. They've added Connor Salter. So just topping up nicely, adding to it the side they already had last year, which was really good as well. We restart in the middle here is Lovell. Tigers on top early in this second term. Lovell pumps it deep inside 50. Pack forms, players fly. Spills out the back for Tyler Carter, who wheels around. And welcome back, Tyler. Great to see him back playing TSL footy, and look at his teammates get around him. They know what he's been through over the past 12 months with his ankle operation, and he hits the scoreboard in this second term.
Yeah, it's a tough operation to come back from, especially for a big fella like Tyler Carter. I mean, that is an incredibly tough one. So fantastic to see him back out there at the start of the season, making an impact. And what a start to the quarter here for the Kingborough Tigers. They've kicked 2 quick goals and cut that margin back to 4 points. And the Bombers' lead has just about evaporated already. It's been a good response. They needed to come out firing. They have, and now it's over to the Bombers to respond. But they've got a cracking contest in prospect here at the afternoon. Both teams having periods in control, and it'll be Gardner sweeping the handball there to Eddie Cole as they look to go forward once more. Not his best work though, Eddie Cole, as he picked out Dylan Fife, who turns onto his left, and he'll send the Bombers towards half forward. Good strong mark taken by Hooker. Brought it down well, and now he wheels and sets it up into the pocket towards the one-on-one contest. Fist game, is that McGuinness with a snap? Well, that is wonderful work there. Yeah, he's got another, and they get back out to a 10-point lead. Josh McGuinness, very dexterous work there from the big fella.
Well, yes, his new position up forward. That's 2 for him for the game, which is outstanding to see. Joshy McGuinness, a new dad over the summer as well, so he's been a very good player for this footy club for a very long time, the captain. So, yeah, new role, and it's working for him so far.
Named at half-back too, so they've really just snuck him forward here, really taken him by surprise, I reckon, given no indication that was going to be it. And making his mark on this one, Big McGuinness.
Well, we've got a game on our hands. 10 points the margin is now to the home team, Lauderdale. Really entertaining contest. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Thanks to Daily Potato Co., our live stream sponsors for 2022 here on the TSL live stream. Fife, as he held without the footy. Umpire let it go. Tigers go inside 50 again. What is on offer? Carter went back with a flight, but ball goes over his head, out of bounds for a boundary throw-in, right forward pocket. 6:11 gone, his second term. Got the close one here at Skybus. A couple of blowouts taking place in the north of the state at Windsor Park and Newtas Stadium. We'll keep across those scores as the afternoon goes on. So Carter into the ruck now for the Tigers. Smith, though, gets it all to himself. Turned over, though, quickly. Snap at goal. Ball goes to the line and eventually trickles out for a boundary throw-in on the left point post for the Tigers.
Some good defensive work there from William Poland, who's been very impressive so far in this one. Snuck forward and kicked a goal, and his work in defence has been pretty tidy so far as well. So ball in inside 50 here as Smith competes against Carter, who wins it down towards the top of the square. Just slapped out of there by Reece Sutton. Got some good meterage on it too. Who's first to the fall? It'll be the Tigers, and they'll turn inside, although Salter's kick was just impacted. Some good pressure from behind as he looked to get rid of it. Josh Williams now with the handball, and Smith will swing them towards the wing. Leaping high from behind was Hooker. He's then dispossessed. Falls out, and Elijah Reardon will look to pounce. He's pretty tough to stop when he gets to the fall of the ball, and he'll pump them deep inside 50. But back there once again, just parked back loose, was Poland, who continues to impress, although runs into a little bit of trouble here. Got the handball away to Marlon. Marlon's kick, not a good one, but his teammate under the pump. Plenty of numbers, though, for the Bombers, and they should be able to clear the area, though, through the hands of Patton. And this one's pumped deep inside 50, flying from behind. Oh, a chance here for the Tigers. Manufactured a kick back, not 15 though. And Carter is wrapped up in a strong tackle. Just didn't quite have the distance to be paid the mark.
He tried it though, didn't he? He thought he was going to get paid the mark there. It was never going to be 15. Unfortunately for Tyler Carter. As we restart now. Ball spills to ground. Tompkinson has his player wrapped up there. The umpire will have it again. So just at the attacking end of the ground for the Tigers here. Smith had it all on his own on that occasion. Here's Lovell, shrugs an opponent, wheels around, goes across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, not able to find the big sticks on this occasion, but he's shown a real goal sense early on as Kieran Lovell, and just about the most important piece of any successful side, I reckon, having midfielders who can hit the scoreboard. They are so vital. Every coach is after them, and that's certainly what Lovell presents. Is a good mark's taken here by Gardner. Turns and goes quickly, just pumps them deep inside 50, trying to put the defence under pressure. And once again, it's big Jack Tompkinson who's having an enormous impact on this one.
Slowly becoming my man, Drewy. It's only a quarter and a half old, but I like what he's bringing to the table, the big fella.
He's offering plenty, isn't he? He's an imposing presence, and being able to alternate Gardner and he in the ruck, and they've swung him forward, and that's where he's doing the damage here. Tompkinson, the Bombers just don't seem to have a matchup for him down there, and I think a lot of teams will struggle to match up with him. He is a huge unit, and he goes back here with a chance to cut the margin to 4 points. It's swinging. Oh, he celebrated early. He knew it was bending back on the wind. He cuts the margin to 4 points. Jack Tompkinson with another goal, and he finds the Kingborough Tigers fourth.
Yeah, love it. He is providing a real presence. Big fella. Not going to take anything this year. You can tell that he's a big presence out on the field, and has kicked 2 already in this game. In the ruck, being forward. Yeah, I like what he's brought to the table, and suddenly the lead is only 4 points to Lauderdale. So it's been all the Tigers in this second term, apart from that Josh McGuinness goal to the left of screen. You mentioned these inclusions too. I spoke to Trent Baumler about Kieran Lovell during the week. I might get back to that in a moment as we restart in the middle. Ball straight to ground. He's not going to blow the whistle. He lets it out, and Siggins gets it out the back door. Franklin still has the footy. He's got a player on offer there in Continenza. Gets it backwards. And now Lauderdale, they're out of trouble here. Not quite. Big mark from behind. That's lovely stuff from Riley Ashland. Very nice indeed. What's on offer for him? Decides to go short, and it's a good kick in the end to Gardner. Gardner wants to play on quickly and does. What's on offer here? Lane takes a beautiful mark. Big Jukes out in front, and he'll go back down and have a shot. And these tall targets are providing real headaches for the Lauderdale defence, Andrew Cooley. Yeah,
the height, it's really stretching them. It's, a lot of the trends in modern football is the small ball approach, but they've flipped that on its head and said, we're just going to put some big, tall timber down there, stretch your defence, and right now, the frequency it's coming in, causing them all sorts of problems.
So Jordan Lane kicked plenty of goals for Signet last year in that premiership winning team in the SFL. Finds himself in the Tigers TSL side in 22. Off to the right, that one, and a minus score. Brings it back to 3 points now. 33 plays 30. And what I was going to say about Kieran Lovell before is it's always been about when Kieran Lovell's come home, is he going to get drafted again? What's his next move going to be? I spoke to Trent about it, and he said now it's all about him enjoying his footy and not worrying about the AFL stuff and all that sort of thing. He's comfortable in where he is in life, so just about having fun and not trying to carry this team all on his own back.
I reckon that can be quite freeing for a player too.
Absolutely.
If you start removing those pressures. So I think that bodes very well for a big season from Kieran Lovell. He's certainly made a bright start early here this afternoon. It's the home side holding sway by 3 points, but the Tigers having the better of this quarter. Umpire's going to pay that one way of the Tigers, and wanting it quickly is that man Lovell, though he didn't quite have the option he thought. He weaves one way, then back the other, and just picks out an expert kick. Found Clifford tight to the line. Lovely work there. And Clifford will look to pump them deep once more and let the big men fly and see your Bombers on that occasion. Once again, it's Poland who's been playing almost a lone hand back there at times for the Bombers, doing some great work intercepting as he just chips this one short.
Oh, he's back.
To McGuinness, and that suggests the way the game's going. They've thrown McGuinness back into defence, and probably not a bad idea just to try and stem the bleeding for the time being. They're really under pressure. Williams taking that one. And he looks up, told to go by the umpire, and drives a low one, trying to keep it underneath the wind. The fist came from Donnelly, and it's really done a complete 180 this game in this quarter. And I think the wind a rather large factor. Now it is the Lauderdale side really struggling to clear their defensive lines. Look
at those trees in the background. They're blowing a little bit. So I think you're spot on the money there, Drewy, as Gardner taps it down. Ashland got the handball the way back to Gardner. He goes inside 50. Mark on the chest of Luke Graham. Lovely stuff out in the lead. And he'll go back now and have a shot and try and hit his team into the lead.
it's coming in at a pretty good pace, and it's coming in pretty frequently too right now. They are really under pressure, this Bombers defence. It's going to be a matter of, I think, just trying to hold on in the quarters you're defending this end and then maximising it when you're attacking it.
Great call, Luke Graham. Been a wonderful player for the Tigers for many years now. Slight angle here. In he wanders. Kick looks good off the boot. Umpire does not move. The Tigers get another, and they're in front by 3 points.
Yeah, 5-6-36 lead. The Bombers 5-3-33, and we're just halfway through this quarter, so doing some really good work out of the middle, getting the ball in there quickly and giving good opportunities to their forwards, who are taking full advantage in this one. And the Bombers just need to get a hold of the ball a little bit and just try and steady things down a little bit for the time being. Because right now, they're really under pressure. They need to start winning the ball a little more out of these centre clearances. And right now, Gardner having his way in the ruck contest. There's a chance perhaps for them to bounce off here through Patton. Turns inside. He was prolific in the first quarter, Patton. His handball didn't really do Richmond any favours, but managed to work it well back to Patton. He'll now send them deep inside 50. Almost a mark down there. Broomhall at the forward ball. Siggins got a handball away. Under immediate pressure though, the Tigers were just trying the volley, was Lockie Clifford out of midair. Second time he's able to clear the area, but only so far as Nat Franklin, who wheels and will send them deep inside 50. Oh, that was a horrible, ugly squib of a kick there. Strong tackle laid. And it'll be a ball up deep inside the Bombers forward 50.
So it's been all the Tigers in this second term. We had a goal from Josh McGuinness for the Bombers, but apart from that, it's been all the yellow and black, and Smith wins it down. Umpires paid free kick there for too high. And with Blake McCulloch, that's the footy. Switches it to the far side of the ground, and Eddie Cole had a tremendous year for the Tigers last season. That's a good mark. It's my man Reece Sutton out there on the wing. What's on offer for the veteran? Pops it forward and finds McGuinness. A new role for him up forward today, but as we saw, has headed back to the back line. Inside 50 now. Smith flew at the back. Tigers end up with these pounced upon by Lauderdale players everywhere, and that will be the Bombers' shot on goal here, and it will go to Dylan Fife, who is back playing TSL footy. Been up at Southport in the Neefle. Didn't win a flag there, I think, and he's made his way back home here to Lauderdale, where he has been an absolute star for this club for many, many years. Great to see him back. Remember when he first started playing, Drewy? He's a tiny man, but he has got plenty of ability. Dylan Fife. Can he get Lauderdale back in front in this contest? The kick is on its way, and it is well offline. Out on the full.
Yeah, the big build-up, and in the end, didn't quite deliver there. You're right, he's been a quality player, though, Fife, and you expect a little bit better, just not judging the wind on that one, and drifted well across the face. Need to take your chances when you're kicking to this end, so I'll let off there, but they might be able to generate another chance. Might get a second crack here. There's a chance for Reece Sutton. Kicking into the wind, it's going to be a difficult task though. Teammate offering the option. I think he might just wheel around. He gets a bit of momentum and charges. He'll put it deep. It's a mighty kick. It's a mighty kick from Sutton. He wheels around from 50 and puts his side back in front, and that is a team lifter, Breno.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. If that doesn't get you up and about as a team, nothing will. That was huge from Reece Sutton. As we said, just been a consistent player for this footy club for a long, long, long time, and continues to get it done. Was part of those grand final appearances under Darren Winter, and just a really good TSL player. Love what he brings to the table, and that was a tremendous goal.
Yeah, just taking advantage of the stand rule, knowing he could get that running start, wheel round onto the right, and kicking into a pretty stiff breeze from 50. That's a fantastic goal from Reece Sutton.
It's almost a time on in this second term. Lead back in favour of Lauderdale. Only 3 points though. It is a cracker we've got here on the TSL live stream for round one in 2022. Lockie Clifford, Tompkinson, now Cole. Wheels around, throws it on the boot. He heads to the top of the square. What's on offer? Big punch away there by the Lauderdale defender in Racket. And a ball in the right forward pocket for the Bombers on a beautiful day for the season opener here at Skybus Oval. Bit of wind about, as we said. And it comes. Carter back into the ruck. It's one down by Richmond. Now Lovell. That one is through for a behind. Lead back to 2.
Just off target there, Kieran Lovell, but again, when the ball hits the deck inside 50, he's looming as a big threat. He is Poland on kick-out duties. Everyone gathering on the near wing here, and that's where he heads. Gardner with the sit here, that just fell a little bit short, and Harry Richmond, in the end, is able to claim it, so he's done well, and he's impressed with his work in the air early in this one, Harry Richmond. He's put down a few contested marks. He worked this one further afield, just towards centre wing, and a good mark taken by Luke Patton, dealt with after, and that'll be 50 metres. They're red hot on that this year. A little bit of ill discipline from Griggs, and presents a goal scoring chance for Luke Patton. Coach is going to be fuming over that one.
He will indeed.
Mark on centre wing, now a gettable shot from 35 metres.
Yep, not what Trent Bormala was after at all, and I'm sure Lockie Griggs will get a stern talking to at half-time for that one.
We've seen in the AFL opening round, there's a real crackdown on anything this year after the mark's been paid. So Luke Patton with an opportunity to extend the Bombers' advantage. And he's just hung that one out to the right, and he's missed a lot, so...
Boy.
I think he looked at Fife's kick that went the other side and went, well, I'll correct from that. And then this one swung the other way. So conditions proving pretty difficult out there for the players.
Lockie Griggs breathing a sigh of relief after that one. Lauderdale just had the momentum there, and that would have given even more as Lane gets it inside to Lovell. Lovell's handball goes backwards, and Godomski, Lane, and now the Tigers work it out of defence, and switch play here is Griggs. Take his time to assess his options here. Ends up going along down the wing. Ball's out the back and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Plenty of spectators here for the opening round of the season. Plenty of people would have missed their footy over the summer months. Great to have footy back. As we said off the top of the broadcast, everyone chasing Launceston this season, the back-to-back premiers. They're looking for a three-peat. Certainly the hunt in 2022. Ball is kicked away by Griggs to the pate of 50. Bursting through there was Patton. And now the Tigers. Nice mark from Griggs, who's lifted here. He drives it long now. What's on offer for him? Spills it to Lovell, who tries to get rid of a few defenders. Umpire has blown the whistle though, and he'll ball it up by the look of things.
Deep inside 50, the Tigers threatening once more. Lane up against Smith in the ruck contest. They clear the area here through Sam Siggins, who just slams it on the boot and looks to buy some territory. It floats in the air for a long time, just stood up there. Eventually at the fall of it was Clifford. Couldn't quite control it, and now Stanley working it forward, and one-on-one at half forward here, the Bombers. Turning with it is McGuinness. He's got some support. Opted not to use it, says, I'll do it myself. Sets sail for home, and it just held up in the wind. And a minor score only.
I thought he was going to get mowed down there. He did very well to get ahead of his opponent there, Josh McGuinness, but didn't quite have enough on it, but it was a nice effort anyway. So we see the Tigers have it now on the outer wing. And under pressure there was McCulloch, and now Griggs again, who's seen a lot of the footy here in this second term. Out of bounds, that one right in front of the coach's box. I'll tell you what I missed about Skybus Oval. Darren Winter banging on the coach's box. That used to be a lovely part of heading down here to Skybus.
Sounds of the game.
It was exactly right.
Car horns and Winter banging on the coach's box. Real suburban feel about it. It is fantastic to have a good crowd in here today. Is stepping through and just getting taken a little bit high there. It was Dylan Fife. Easy to do with the man of his stature, as that one brought him around the neck from Gardner. 23 plus change have ticked by in quarter number 2. The home side just holding sway. It's been a cracking contest and a very even game so far as we head towards the main break. This one falls off hands and Salter's able to work it up the line. Salter will wheel and launch this one towards half forward, and a strong mark taken down there by Lane, who's been prominent this quarter. He sends them deep inside 50, and speaking of prominent this quarter, it's Tompkinson again. He's running his own show down there, Brenner.
He is indeed. Got the headband on and just doing what he pleases at the moment.
And he turns and snaps on the right, and it's a good looking kick. And it's the Kingborough Tigers who take the lead just before half time here. And once again, it's Jack Tompkinson doing all the damage.
Yeah, well, we're running out of things to say about him, aren't we? He's just everywhere this game so far. Really nice inclusion. Trent Baumler must have been absolutely rapt that a player like him can land on his lap over the summer. He's a Tassie boy originally, spent some time in Queensland, as we mentioned, so he's returned back home and getting it done in this season opener against Lauderdale. They're back out to a 3-point lead, the Tigers, as we approach half-time here. Restart, Smith, Lovell got boot to ball in the end, and now here's Soup Campbell, who's been probably quiet by his standards this afternoon. Campbell, he goes long, top of the square, looking for Carter. That's a great mark by Lennon Marlin, of course, who we mentioned earlier, over from the Waffle.
He's got a little lucky there.
Yeah.
I said no, we went right to go. It was a free kick, not a mark, so you've got to go back. It was a pretty poor kick.
It wasn't his best work, that's for sure. So he plays on now, and that wasn't great either. That is out of bounds for a boundary throw-in, left forward pocket. So a couple of little let-offs there to the Tigers. They get it back here and a chance to have another crack at goal. Not sure how long we'll have left here in this term, but a nice spot here for the Tigers to extend that lead. Down it comes. Lauderdale do well though to work it out of defence and get it out of danger to the wing. That's a good mark taken by Ed Stanley. Spent some time away from the TSL and came back to Lauderdale last year. At Dodgers Ferry. Ball spills to ground. And work it out. It was McCulloch. But Lauderdale still has possession. It flies through the air. Fife brought down by Reardon. And that's not coming out any time quickly. And the umpire will come and grab it.
Good strong tackle laid there by Elijah Reardon. Hasn't seen as much of the football in this quarter. Was very busy in quarter number 1 with the ball, spending so much time down that end of the field. The two rucks compete once more. Strong tackle laid by Dylan Fife. Doing plenty of that grunt work, the in-under stuff. Tackling hard is Fife, making his presence felt as they'll compete once more. Smith up against Tompkinson, who's moved back into the ruck now. Looking to wriggle free and just about doing so. It was Lovell. He gets some good purchase on the kick and sends it up towards the middle of the park. Ball in dispute. Campbell picks it up and he's brought immediately down by Williams. Tackle late, it spills out to Eddie Cole. Handballs into space. Ooh, strong coming together there from the ground. Dygan able to get a handball away. Spills there to Hooker, who's immediately wrapped up. We'll have a ball up as we tick towards half-time here at Skybus. This live stream brought to you by the Daily Potato Company. Every game live streamed in the TSL this year. We hope you're enjoying the coverage as the big men go at it once more, and it'll be the Tigers who can send the ball deep inside 50. Gardner now. Well, we've seen Tompkinson doing the damage deep inside 50. They switch positions, and now Gardner, and the height of these ruckmen is really stretching this Bombers defence.
Absolutely. They got some tall timber in 2022, the Tigers. That's wonderful to see. As we said, relied on Tyler Carter a lot before he went down and had to get creative with their forward setup last year, but now plenty of options for them.
So can Marcus Gardner extend the Tigers' lead to 9 points in the shadows of half-time? Goal umpire doesn't move. A lovely kick from Marcus Gardner. And they get their 7th of the game to kick out to a 9-point lead deep in the second quarter.
Don't know who wins from here, Drew. I think the third quarter is going to tell us a bit about what the end result of this game will be. Obviously, the right-hand side of the screen has been the scoring end for this game. As you say, a 9-point lead as we approach half-time. Tigers will be very happy with their turnaround. 17-point deficit at quarter time to lead by 9. So they've had a very, very big second term. There's no doubt about that. Tompkinson and Smith go at it in the middle of the ground here at Skybus Oval. Tompkinson got boot to ball just. Now Patton. Ball bouncing just outside the square for it. Stayed inside the centre square in the end. That's a big tackle, pushing it in the back from behind. And free kick will be paid to Fletcher Hooker, who I'm assuming is the brother of Cam Hooker. He goes deep inside 50. That's a big fly at the back. A nice mark taken by Zach Adams. And there it is, half-time here at Skybus Oval in Lauderdale. And the Tigers have turned a 17-point deficit at quarter time into a 9-point lead at the major break. They lead this one by 9 points, 49-40 in the TSL season opener on the Daily Potato Co live stream. Bit going on here, is there? Nice Walsh just being spoken to here on the umpires. A bit of feeling in this. We've seen that through parts of the game, Drewy.
Yeah, no love lost between these two teams, I don't think. There's been plenty of physicality out there, and the Tigers have made the most of the wind in the second quarter to skip away to a 9-point lead. And I expect we'll see the Bombers back on top in quarter number 3, and you feel they're probably going to need to build a 20 to 30 point lead in this third quarter if they're going to win this game. Anything less, and you make the Tigers pretty comfortable favourites going into the last, I'd reckon. Spot
on. Yeah, it's definitely been the scoring in the right-hand side. There's no doubt about that. Going to be a fascinating second half. Stick with us here on the live stream. Thanks to Daily Potato Co. Back with second half action shortly.
We did lamb shanks the other night, and let's just use stuff out of the freezer. And I said, yeah, I'll cook them. And I got home at about 4:30, and then get out to the supermarket out myself. And then realised, I thought, it's like 2,500. But she was getting home late, and Edwin was coming for dinner and that as well. I thought, oh, we're going to be late anyway, 9 o'clock. So, crack the cheese and biscuits first. I think he's not going to be able to stay awake long enough to get dinner. Well, they were nice, but well, it was an hour and a quarter, then turn them for an hour, and then another hour and a quarter, and then 45 minutes with uncovered. So it was a long cook. A weekend. Talk about them tonight, how nice they are. Right, I don't think. It just caramelizes. Yeah. Everyone went the rabbit. So nobody gets like that anymore. Oh, lots of rabbit. could probably catch him in a coffee train too. With some food. If you want. Yeah, they were deadly those rats. We used to set those kids up. Grossi used to bring it to work. Yeah, yeah. He used to bring it along. It was pink like corn beef too. Yeah. I never ate it. I don't know. I'm happy with the sandwiches, Neil. The Peckham's boys and that used to eat it. I mean, there's probably nothing wrong with it. They would be. Yeah? So that he could bag it. Yeah, so he could. Yeah. A big turnaround. He's chucking extra shanks in with the side of lamb for $9.99. When Dad's first shop, he used to do sides of lamb for $9.99 and sides of veal for $11.99. Nobody wanted veal back then, not down here. And then apparently it all goes over the mainland now. Yeah. They pay more for it, but actually the true veal is actually not full. So you get straight over the gut. It was really cool to make the moss and then put it in a plastic cup, make it like a batter thing, you put a plastic cup, chuck the microwave for 50 seconds and it just goes. And when I first put it in, I thought, it's going to go everywhere, so I stopped it and it didn't, it only goes twice the cup. It comes out real like almost a sponge, it just breaks it all up. There's honey, sugar, flour, egg and sugar. Yeah. And then I made some, like so no, that was the branch. You know those little flat things that stick out of the log? And they come up really well. And then I thought, and then I burnt the outside of them. Take a pot? I'll take it. Help her all together, But no, then I thought I'll put a little branch in it. I'm trying to roll it. like coasters.
We'll be drunk and we'll go and pick Mara up and we'll take a biscuit and everything.
Oh, you're not doing it. Carrie's the one that turned up.
That's Jose. So there's a few like that.
Harry's the one that knows your friends with Sims. Last time they had we went to pick her up the next day. She was going to go for the house and on the way there.
We phoned up that bitch. She said, "I've loaded them up." Said, "Oh, she's gone." And she left. I tell you, that's not all the good. And I phoned her up the next morning, and she answered. And then I heard, "Where are we?" "Oh, I'm in your room." Yeah. So it ended up it was another girl that was at the party, but as soon as she was going, whose house? Who are these people? So apparently she said, "Oh, there was no sleep." No, which you'll meet. Yeah. I just had the highlight.
Ran out of everything by
She was still in the hospital.
I reckon they've done the same today, but it looks like you can have hot chips or hot chips.
Just the one that gives you heart.
Yeah, the loose cannons.
Is it all? It's always the youngest.
Yeah.
They've got no responsibility.
It's just,
Get away with it.
I'll be right. I know what's going on. Scary photos. I'll phone them. See it? Oh, really? Well, that's what May's like too. And if you ask Mary a question, she tries to shut you down. And you go, "Maya, we're just trying to help you. If you need something, you know, like you'd ask her. Oh, well, you can sing. Okay, so it's party for you and Harry. Do we need to get stuff? No. Oh, no, we're okay. What stuff? What are you eating? Oh, we're just getting pizza. Oh, who's buying pizza?
You've got to ask all your 25 questions to get the answer.
Really?
Yeah, you just got to
Break him down.
You just got to find different ways of asking questions. It doesn't mean the same thing. So you could some alternative maybe. So like his mind's picking up. Just trying to, either trying to make conversation He's not. Since he's got girlfriends.
Is he?
Probably see people. Maybe I should talk.
Is that what they do?
I think I don't.
Oh, really?
You got to know.
And that never happened? Really?
It always used to be awkward. You know, hug and everything.
Well, think of all. Think about our family. It's very different.
All my family are especially through COVID. Mine are all cuddles and kisses and all that stuff. Like when it was the height of COVID, you know.
My mum did the same. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. If they walk in a room and you don't know, it's like, oh, this is some cuddle.
I still would like the shake of the hand. I do, I know. But nowadays it's not okay to do it, but it still feels a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm weird.
It's like the rock up and go, oh, you g'day, mate. And like other times you go, hey, you
I
know.
feel rude. I don't. Yeah, because when those people come through work, you know, then you just, you know, hold your hand out and go, and Jason is there with you, and go, what are you doing? You can't do that. Right.
So you need to go up with two things in your hands just to stop yourself from fighting. It was terrible. The first time you put me up to yourself.
I struggle with it big time. And then I'd have to go climb. No, okay, sorry.
I got used to doing this.
Fist bump. Is it? But what does that do?
There's nowhere near as much surface contact. So when you shake your hand, you still. Yeah, well that's it.
Welcome back to Skybus Oval in Lauderdale, southern Tasmania. Opening round TSL action on a Saturday afternoon between the home team Lauderdale and the Kingborough Footy Club, the Tigers. And what a game we've got coming up in this second half. A 9-point lead to the Tigers at half-time. Brent Costello in the comm box alongside Andrew Cooling. Drewy, entertaining first half.
Couldn't have asked for a more entertaining first half, Brent. It was fantastic viewing. Both teams had a quarter in the ascendancy. We saw some spectacular goals. We saw some big guys dominating in the air, and a really good physical contest. Just a great way to start the season so far, and hopefully we get 2 more quarters of it, because it's certainly been a compelling match thus far.
Would my man, and he's my man, I've already claimed him, anyone that does a Kingborough game this year, get out of it. He's my man, Jack Tompkinson, number 28. He have your 3 votes so far, would he?
Oh, could I give him the 2 and the 1 as well? Absolutely, yeah. He was very much the game breaker in that quarter, wasn't he? They started getting the ball inside 50 more, and the Bombers just had no matchup for him. And then when he snuck his way into the ruck and they swung Gardner down there, it was a similar story. The 2 big fellas having a profound impact. And they're going to need to find some answers for those 2, especially in the final quarter. But for now, I think a very, very important quarter, this one, for the Bombers. They need to build a lead while they have the wind here.
Yeah, absolutely. They need even a 30-point lead, don't they, heading into the last quarter, just to be safe, because we saw plenty of goals. I'd like to see the stats, actually, of how many goals have been kicked to that right-hand side. There hasn't been too many to the left of the screen, so absolutely big quarter coming up here. We've got the close one here at the tip, because a couple of blowouts in the northern half of the state. North Thorney smacking Glenorchy at UTAS Stadium. And undermanned Glenorchy, it's had to be said, because they've had a few COVID issues. And at Windsor Park too, Launceston destroying North Hobart. So we certainly have the close one on our hands. Do not go anywhere. And what about this all year? A live stream for every game. The Daily Potato Co, Drewy, getting on board, which is fantastic to make sure every game is live streamed in 2022. A magnificent thing. You can pick and choose what you want to watch on the couch on a Saturday afternoon if you're sitting at home watching some local footy.
And the videos stay up there at any point. You can watch them. So fantastic to have the support of the Daily Potato Company here, bringing that to you.
I know you'll go home and review your own work this afternoon, watching the game back,
no
Andrew.
Doubt, no doubt. See how many players I got wrong while I'm still learning these new names.
Well, there's a few out there today. We've seen, a few come into these teams. Kieran Lovell was busy. Kicked a goal. First goal of the game, actually. Here's Lovell. Back from South Australia. There he is on the screen. Josh McGuinness into the guts now too. So he's been everywhere today, Josh McGuinness. Up forward, down back, now in the middle. As the umpire holds the ball aloft and we're underway in the third term here. TSL live stream action on a Saturday afternoon. TSL season opener. There is my man Jack Tompkinson. Hayden Smith all over him and the umpire will ball it up. Two big men ready to go at it again. Smith got first use down to Franklin, who threw it on the boot. Goes high in the air, going back with the flight. And the mark, it must have been touched off the boot. Umpire said play on. Lovell got the handball away to McCulloch. McCulloch now to Clifford. The captain centres the footy. He has a target in mind. He gets it to Cole. Back to Lovell. Handball's over the top. He had Soup Campbell on offer, but Nat Franklin got there first. A clever little tap forward. There's another one as well. And now Lauderdale are away here. Good mark, good jukes out in front by Harry Richmond. Plays on quickly. Looks to go deep inside 50, but it's all Blake McCulloch there to mop it up for the Tigers.
Yeah, just sitting loose back there was McCulloch, and he'll send them wide to Lockie Griggs. Griggs chips one inside to Lockie Clifford. Clifford now punching one, trying to keep it low underneath the wind. Made things difficult for Cole. He spun a 720, has to be holding the football. And he's known all about it by Hayden Smith too. So the free kick will go here to McGuinness, who's moved himself up the park a little here, and he'll send them deep inside 50 here. The spoil came from behind. Trying to get it was Stanley. Bustling through for the Tigers. Picked up was Richmond. Couldn't gather it. The Tigers eventually try and work it out by hand, but just under siege here. The pressure coming. Picked up there by Walsh. It's tough football in the forward pocket here. I think all the players just about wanted a stoppage, and they will eventually get one. So can the Bombers take advantage of an early inside 50 here? They need to hit the scoreboard in quarter number 3 and build themselves a lead. They need to do what the Tigers did in quarter number 2. Take full advantage of their inside 50 looks, but plenty of bodies back there in defence at the moment for the Tigers as they'll try and clear the area through McCulloch, who tumbles one. It was an ugly one, avoided one, then two. Racket at ground level, trying to pick it up. The pressure came from Cole. And strong tackling there. Williams laying the tackle and will be a ball up.
Tigers by 9 points. It's time for Lauderdale to start building that lead. They're kicking with the wind in this quarter. Umpires called advantage here and Lovell was away. Tigers work it forward. Ball to ground. Trying to be picked up there. And now they're inside 50 through Poland picks it up for the defence in Lauderdale. Now Marlin works it up the wing and mark taken. They're away here, the Bombers. Hooker. He goes to the paint of 50. Lauderdale player outnumbered there and the Tigers end up with it through Godomski. Ball turned over. Now a chance for the Bombers to hit the scoreboard. Heads to Goldwood. Bouncing ball to the line, and it's still alive. No, it's through for a behind. The umpire's blown the whistle, though, and the free kick's going the way of the Tigers. It'll be Blake McCulloch with the football.
Just getting in the back there a little was Ed Stanley. He tried to apply the pressure as clear and kick drifts towards the boundary line. Getting first to it was Patton, and he's escorted over by Samuel Digan. It's been the pattern of the game, really. Both teams struggling to this end to clear it off half back. The wind really impacting those kicks and the pressure being applied as the ball tumbled into play once more. Smith won that one down, but it was through the legs of Franklin. Smith now laying a strong tackle on Tompkinson. And Tompkinson in return laying a good tackle on Walsh. And the Tigers now will look to spring back the other way. There's a free kick been paid off the ball here, though. It's going to go the way of the Tigers. Eventually Clifford getting them moving forwards. He swings it out wide towards Gardner, chipped in towards Tyler Carter. Great to see him back out there. Oh, sells a little bit of candy and then swings it inside 50. Plenty of Bombers parked back there, however, and Reece Sutton had plenty of time to make the ball his own. He'll switch things up and send it out towards Martin. Martin chips it back inside for Ratcliffe. Patient building from the back here for the Bombers. Now a blast to the middle of the park coming from behind was Franklin. Defended the contest well. Well done, Eddie Cole. Slung a handball out. Somehow getting the kick away. And the Tigers are able to pounce on the football and send the ball inside 50. Dangerous looking kick, defending with a little shirt grab there was on Marlon. Nothing paid. Chipped inside, looking for Salter. Will it quite sit for him? Not quite. McGuinness comes and applies the pressure. Goes back in. Clifford did well. Squawked the handball out, and the shot on goal is a good one. And the Tigers will take another goal to extend their advantage to 15 points here. Luke Graham finding the goal, and that's a big one. They strike first in quarter number 3.
Yeah, not the start Lauderdale are after there at all. Need a big term here. Kicking to the scoring end of the ground this afternoon, and the Tigers get one at the opposite end. So 15-point advantage now. In a good spot here. Trent Bormula's men. 6-4 plays 8-7. Great to have footy back for season 2022. Tompkinson and Smith in the ruck. Ball heads to the left of screen. Umpires paid a push in the back here. Will go the way of the Tigers. And Soup Campbell wants 50, and he will get it. So, not the best work from the Bombers there. And Will Campbell, I think, will be the man that has the football and have a shot on goal here. You would think it'll bring him in range.
It's just really indiscipline.
Dylan Fife is speaking with the umpire there. But in the meantime, Soup Campbell will have a shot on goal, looking for back-to-back goals here, the Tigers. And this would really hurt. Will Campbell, second in the Lynch medal last year behind Brad Cox-Goodyer. A champion player in the TSL. Any wonders to give his team a big lead. And it is offline. So a massive let off there for Lauderdale. Still, the Tigers lead this one by 16 points.
Yeah, big miss that one. They expect a player of his quality to put that one through the middle, Soupy Campbell, but a reprieve. Still, it's been a good start to the quarter from Kingborough, extending their lead to 16 points. Yet to concede a goal, 7.5 minutes into this quarter. They'll be very happy given the win factor, and just real poor discipline there. The Bombers just throwing the ball back to the man. The umpire simply not buying that it was an errant throw. It's not that hard to throw it back, I think was the response. Yep. And it isn't. And there's the big fella once more, Tompkinson, looking to impact things. Slightly clumsy there from Marlon and just got over the shoulder. He tried his best, but in the end it was always infringing. And a free kick again going the way of the Tigers, who just seized control of the game to start this quarter. Firmly in control of proceedings and striking the ball around nicely. Adams sends them to half forward. They've got 3 men absolutely everywhere here. Just poor marking and a chance.
Carter's on his own.
For O'Neill. You're right, Carter was in space. Instead, he'll send it to the top of the square, looking for Lane. Couldn't quite bring it down. Gets hands to it though. Handball defended, and they'll try and handball their way out of defence here, will the Bombers. But going absolutely nowhere. A strong tackle laid there by Dygan. Shuts that down and locks it in.
Yeah, nice work from Dygan. 16-point margin. Approaching the 10-minute mark of this premiership quarter. Lane in the ruck now, wins it down. Sutton tried to get it. Here's Clifford, the captain. Wants to reel around. He's got opponents everywhere though, and ends up coughing it up to Sutton. Sutton throws it on his right foot. And mark not taken. Spills out the back. Godomski got it back. Tompkinson. And now working it forward is Will Clifford. And there to gobble it up is Lauderdale. It's Nick Hooker. He goes to the wing. Poland is there. It's been fantastic early in this game. Works it forward for the Bombers. What is on offer? And out of bounds it trickles. As we said, the scoring end is the right-hand side of your screen. If you're just joining us here on the live stream, thanks to Daily Potato Co, of course. All games streamed in the TSL for 2022. Take your pick. A couple of other games on this afternoon in the north of the state. Close one here at Skybus Oval, though. Players dive on the footy. And Stanley was the man at the bottom of the pack for the Bombers, and we'll have another ball up.
So 10 minutes have ticked by in quarter number 3. The Bombers yet to find a goal in this quarter. They need to get moving in that regard. They feel they need a handy lead going into three-quarter time if there are any chance. Strong tackle laid by Eddie Cole. It's been an impressive part of his game today, Eddie Cole. His tackling and pressure around the ball has been first rate. He just locks that one up. As the Bombers probing here. Can they find an opening? It's knocked down and gathered by Richmond. Again, back in dispute. Richmond got hands to it again. Worked out to Walsh. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. And this should provide a very good opportunity for the Bombers to get their first at quarter number 3.
Yep, much needed opportunity this one. Needs to go back and slot this, Bryce Walsh. Again, another player that's been a massive part of this club for such a long time. The heart and soul. And a very important kick here.
Just put his head over the football there. Went in, drew the high contact. And he goes back 30 metres out and slots it through the middle and cuts the margin back to 10 points.
Oh, here we go.
And looks to try and spark some afters too. He's trying to ignite something here. He's pulled it back to 10 points. But there have been plenty of little spot fires throughout the afternoon, haven't there?
Oh, there has. That's what we like. Footy's back. Everyone's passionate. Plenty going on. And we've talked about the rivalry all day. Lauderdale's traditional rival, the Clarence Footy Club, and probably Kingborough's North Hobart. But these two played many a close contest the last couple of years. They've gone right down to the wire. And today, we might see another close one here. But Lauderdale, big quarter for them, as we mentioned. Need to keep, well, first of all, reducing that margin and then getting in front. And look at this, bursting out of the middle go the Tigers. Lovely work, straight inside 50. Muck not taken by Graham. Ball spills to ground. Who's there to work it out? It's not going too far too quickly. Umpire will ball it up. 10-point margin. Gardner and Smith. Smith won it down, got first use, and the kick away from Fergus Kenny. Haven't called his name too much this afternoon. Tompkinson wrapped up by Richmond, and umpire will ball this one up too.
Tompkinson in the ruck now. We saw him do so much damage deep forward in the second quarter. He'll compete against Hayden Smith, who's been doing pretty well in the ruck contest this quarter. This one fell out the back, and the Bombers can go forward once more. Good spoil from behind there. Defending it well was Richmond. And now they'll go inside 50, deep ball, and found Ed Stanley, who just got a little bit of separation. And he can go back for 2 in a minute and cut the deficit back to 4 points.
Spoke about Ed Stanley earlier. Spent some time in the SFL recently, but came back to Lauderdale last year.
They find 2 in a minute here for the Bombers. Just ignite them a little bit. We go back from 35 out. It's a good-looking kick. The celebrations gave it away early. And they do find goal number 8. So the Bombers, 8-4-52, still in arrears by 4 points. But just starting to hit the scoreboard in quarter number 3 now are the hosts.
They are indeed. Just see on the screen there, just out of frame, Harry Richmond being attended to by a couple of trains. Like a bit of cramp, potentially. But that's exactly what Lauderdale needed. Back-to-back goals. And all of a sudden the lead is back to 4 points. Plenty of time left in this third term as well for them to try and get back in front here and take a lead into the final term. So Smith and Tompkinson. Smith won it all on his own. Here's Siggins, former Adelaide Crows draftee. Ball spills out the back. Fife, and now they have another shot at goal here potentially, the Bombers. It falls short. Richmond back on his feet. Sutton couldn't quite get it under his spell, and out it goes for a boundary throw in. Love watching Sam Siggins play footy. Just got that AFL look about him, doesn't he?
touch of class about him.
Yeah, there really is. Same with Ridden. Just tell these elite players apart, can't you? And it comes again. Beautiful work from Tompkinson. And umpire has paid a free kick here. Lovell wastes no time. Wants to go quickly and does. That kick can't be marked by Dygan. Out it comes McCulloch now. Juggled there by Lockie Griggs. Players fly from behind. Umpire's blowing the whistle this time.
Against
And
Salford.
McGuinness plays on quickly. Goes to the top of the square. What's an offer? Ridden, but out the back. The Bombers get one. And that one goes to Fletcher Hooker. And they've kicked 3 in a row. And they take the lead by 2 points.
Yeah, got to keep going now. It's been a good 5-minute patch. They've got going after a sluggish start to quarter number 3. They've hit the lead. It's 58-56. As we said, we reckon somewhere between 20 and 30 points this wind is worth. So they need to get going and probably kick another 4 or 5 this quarter. But the last 5 minutes, they're really starting to ignite. And suddenly, it's the Tigers' defence under the pump.
What a game this is. Entertaining from the opening bounce.
A seesawing contest. Gardner will go in the ruck here against Smith, who's doing a pretty good job in there for the Bombers this quarter, Hayden Smith. Making his presence felt. He won that one down and he tapped it to Fife. Couldn't get rid of the ball though, and now Clifford sweeps the handball and the Tigers will look to go forwards. A spear and kick inside 50. Oh, the mark was dropped though by O'Neill, but still an opportunity. Oh, opting to handball there was the big fella Tompkinson. Expecting someone to run past, none was forthcoming. And the Bombers shook through the area. That looked like an absolute throw. Play allowed to continue. Eddie Cole sliding through traffic. His kick wasn't the best, but it might work because it found its way to Tompkinson. Couldn't quite get the purchase on the kick. And as he has done for much of the day, taking the relieving mark in defence is William Poland. Been really impressed by this guy, Bono.
Yeah, he's been a good player for a number of years now in defence for the Bombers and for the Tigers, of course. Redden, Smith dragged down. There's his undies. Now Lovell, Redden, Cole. Can he get it out? He does in the end. He's got Carter. Tyler Carter weaves a bit of magic. Goes to the square. Who is there? Nice mark taken by Connor Salter. Another inclusion to this Tigers lineup for season 2022. And he's got the chance to go back now. Tough angle. Let's see what he can do and see if he can get his team back in front. Connor Salter with his right foot. That looks really nice off the boot. That is one against the Tide. And the Tigers back in front at Skybus Oval.
Yeah, threading the eye of the needle there. That was the extreme angle. Just went the drop punt and worked it beautifully back on the breeze. Superb stuff and restores his side's lead. And taking your chances against the wind like that, that's a low percentage effort. That's a huge bonus for the Tigers. And just halts that little run that the Bombers are on. They are flying. They kicked 3 in a row in short time. So a big goal there for the Tigers.
Quick update from around the grounds. Full time at UTAS Stadium. A massive win to North Launceston by 110 points. 150 to 40 against Glenorchy. Bombers on top of the ladder at the moment. 375%, Drewy.
Not a bad way to start the season. As this one's picked up by Ashland. Turns through a couple and then works a kick towards half forward. Oh, almost taking a great mark was O'Neill. Couldn't quite complete it. Good smother there, so touch ball, and they'll have to move it quickly by hand. Did so. Advantage paid, and they've got some bodies forward. Has advantage not been paid? Well, I'm not really sure why not, but it's going to come back, which will be a relief to the Bombers' defence. So, 6s and 7s, there were 3 men everywhere for the Tigers, but back we go. Dygan will send them inside 50. Once more, this time the defence gets set, but they still can't stop the mark being taken. And it's Luke Graham again, who's risen here in quarter number 3. An opportunity to extend it to 10 points. It will be a tough kick against the Breeze, though.
It will, but Connor Salter just showed us it can be done. And I'll tell you what, if he slots this, it's going to be very hard for Lauderdale, I reckon. from here.
The goal's just about worth double kicking to this end. And Luke Graham
Well, I think, yeah, there's space.
takes some time to compose himself. We'll see if he wheels around a little bit to buy the extra distance. Luke Graham, his side lead by 4 points, and the ops against instead just chips one into the pocket. That was clever. William Campbell showing his experience, just leading into the space, knowing it was a tough kick for his teammate, and a more gettable opportunity this one.
It is, and a gun player taking the kick as well. We saw him miss one a little earlier that he probably should have kicked, but I'll back him in from here, Drew.
We'll see if he can produce. Slight angle here. And we saw his teammate moments ago showing him how it's done. So William Campbell to extend the Tigers' lead to 10 points. He saunters in and drives an ugly looking kick. Didn't get any of it. It'll stay in play. Won't score at all. And in the end it'll be taken away by Poland, who looks to bounce them off half-back immediately. A couple of fortuitous bounces, but eventually it found its way through to Gardner. Tigers now turning through Lovell. Takes one on. Sets sail for home. It's Kieran Lovell. It didn't quite have the distance. Again, just falling short. Oh, the clearing kick was a little bit dicey. Made it very difficult for his teammate there in Continenza. And in the end, it's going to be a ball up.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning anything about Will Campbell again when he shoots on goal. I'll just let him go for it next time. No commentator's curse. Smith won it down. Bombers get it out the back door, but the handball goes straight over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. At Windsor Park, Launceston dominating by 80 points against North Hobart. 18 minutes gone in the third term. So a couple of blowouts in the north. We've got the close one here in the south, as Lauderdale bring it out of defence. Nice work from Eddie Cole.
Just lingered a little, I think, though.
He did. So Lauderdale will have the free kick here. Ratcliffe goes backwards to Marlin. That one should be a free kick as well. Will be, you would think. Kingborough by 4 points. Expecting big things from the Tigers this season. They've started it nicely here in round one. Nick Hooker works it inside the centre square. Poland all on his own. He's got time and space here. Gets it off to Sutton. He has a bounce. Looks ahead. What is on offer for him up forward? Siggins flew. Ends up in the hands of Broomhall. But the Tigers end up with a footy. Big tackle by Stanley. And looks like that'll be a free kick going the way of Blake McCulloch, who plays on quickly to Lovell. Lovell looking for a target. Decides to find one in the end through Carter. Carter a long way from home. Works it to the commentary side wing. And now Eddie Cole centres the footy. And the Tigers are away here. George O'Neill got it off to Lockie Clifford. He tried to sell some candy, but he's wrapped up holding the footy. And the Bombers will get the ball back.
Yeah, Joshua Williams with a big tackle and just guilty of overplaying it there a little bit, the Tigers. Probably didn't need the extra handball. And in the end, just a reprieve for the Bombers, who have sent this one wide and just dropped it. Bent back on the breeze beautifully. A real draw to that one as it found Rackett. He goes back inside. An important mark taken and bouncing off quickly with Sutton. He drives them inside 50. Numbers with the Tigers, but it's the Bombers who gather it. Just volleying it out of the air was Continenza. That was clever because it wasn't exactly silver service he got. Seeking the safety of the line there was Adams and finding it. So a throw in inside 50 here for the Bombers, and they need a goal badly. They're trailing in this game. We're into red time in quarter number 3, and you fancy they need a few goal advantage heading into the last if they're going to be any hope. After that, all the wind just completely vanishes. Tapped down by Siggins. Working his way through was Clifford, and a shot on goal will fly to the top of the square, just not quite able to bring it down, but falling to Ratcliffe, who picks it up and puts it through, and he does put the Bombers ahead. A badly needed goal, that one. They reclaimed the lead. 2 points the margin, 24 minutes gone, quarter number 3.
I want to know who's on the air raid siren. That'd have to be the coolest job in the TSL.
I like it, I like it.
But no, important goal. Let's straighten up because that was an important goal for Lauderdale. They get the lead back. But this third quarter time has almost expired. And have they done enough, Drewy, with that breeze we've spoken about?
Not at the moment, I don't think. Not at the moment.
Saying that, if they can do what the Tigers managed to do to them in the last quarter, could be anyone's game as we restart in the middle. Gardner and now Cole got the kick away. Kick wasn't his best, then was a little floater in the air as Sutton gets the footy. Works it to half forward, big punch from behind from Elijah Reardon, who quieting down a little bit. Drew?
Yeah, he was had the ball on a string in the opening 15-20 minutes. He's done some good defensive work, but we haven't seen perhaps his attack and drive that he provides off half-back quite so much since the first quarter.
Ball back in. Smith and Gardner. Cole has gotten busy. And that one beats Lockie Clifford to the line. It's a beautiful day for footy. Perfect conditions. Sun is out. Footy's back. Spoke about the importance of round one. Some people treat it as, something important. Others say, well, it's just one round in a whole season. But it'd be nice for any team to get off to a winning start, you'd think. As Lovell, it's clever. And it's a nice mark again from Poland, who's been outstanding this afternoon. Team leads it by 2 points at the moment. Franklin goes short. Picks up Williams. Williams finds Bryce Walsh. Had some horror luck with injuries, Bryce Walsh. Good to see him back out there playing footy. Finds his good mate, Nat Franklin. He wants to switch play to the opposite side of the ground. Oh, cleverly done by Rackett. He's wrapped up in a big tackle though. Still, let's play on. And the Tigers turn the footy over and then a little ground grubber kick from O'Neill. Franklin ends up with the footy again. Decides to hit up Williams. Williams now. What's he got on offer? Goes to the paint of 50. Finds Sutton. Sutton wanted to play on, but he's got a player free to his left. He's missed him though. Decides to go to the goal square in the end. Siggins lurking. And a free kick might be paid here. It might be against Sam Siggins, it was. And the Tigers will get the footy.
Yeah, I think fair to call that one an unrealistic attempt. He's good, Siggins, but I don't think he was ever getting near that one. As the Tigers repel from defensive 50 once more, but that one just caught by the wind and it floats out of bounds on the full. So an opportunity for the Bombers to pump it back in here. They'd love another one here, just in the shadows of three-quarter time. I'm not sure they've got enough of a lead. They probably need to add to it. They've got an opportunity here. Plenty of bodies will be getting back. The Tigers, though, is selling a little bit of candy and running into some trouble, but got past them, did Hooker, then set sail for home. It's drifting just across the face. It didn't miss by a lot. 3 points now the margin.
That would have been a handy one. Dying moment to this third quarter for the Bombers as Reardon brings it back into play. Kick hasn't worked for him, and now the Bombers get another crack here, do they? Some beautiful work. Was that taken high, Bryce Walsh? Ooh. No, umpire said no. Now the Tigers, they're away here. Everyone stood still wondering what was going on, but away went George O'Neill. And now that kick is not the best of work, and Lauderdale will get the footy back here. As time ticks down in this third quarter. Sutton. And there it is, three-quarter time in this TSL season opener for 2022. It's the home team, Lauderdale, leading this one by 3 points, 65 plays 62. That's on the Daily Potato Co scoreboard, Andrew Cooling. What do you make of that, and have the Bombers done enough? You'd think not, given there is a pretty big advantage to one way.
Yeah, look, they've won the quarter on the scoreboard, but I put that quarter down as a big win to the Tigers in my mind. They've restricted the damage. They got it 2 goals of their own, which could prove absolutely invaluable. I don't think a 3-point margin is quite going to be enough. Yeah, the game evened up a little bit more in terms of the scoring from that end in quarter number 3, but it still seems to me like the wind is impacting kicks pretty significantly out there, and you'd fancy the Tigers to run them down then last. It's going to take a huge effort from the Bombers to win this one, given the wind factor.
Absolutely. We'll come back and wrap up some more of the third quarter in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and be back soon.
BCCI. Alrighty. Players entered.
Welcome back to Skybus Oval. Three-quarter time in this clash between the Bombers and the Tigers. Got the close one this afternoon in the TSL's opening round. It is the home team by 3 points, Andrew Cooling, but Tigers will have a pretty significant advantage, we feel, in this final term.
Yeah, they're definitely the favourites from this point, despite the fact they are behind on the scoreboard. Just the 3 points in it, I think they'll be delighted with how that third quarter went. Managing to get those 2 goals against their other play, enormous. Could have been a little more if William Campbell had his shooting boots on.
Yeah.
They did squander a couple of goal-scoring looks, but a really good quarter for the Tigers, and it's the home side with it all to do, but it's been a game that's ebbed and flowed. Both teams have had periods in the ascendancy, so it's possible, but it's going to be very, very tough for the home side from here, you fancy.
It will, and we said before the break that, round one, it is important to get off to a good start, but it is only one round in a long season. So whoever does lose today won't be, they'll be disappointed, but they know there's a long way to go in this season. We expect these two teams to be there when the whips are cracking come finals time. As we mentioned earlier, final score from UTAS Stadium, big win to North Launceston. And Launceston are leading North Hobart comfortably at Windsor Park this afternoon. So three-quarter time in that game, it's Launceston 105 to, in fact, we're 2 minutes into the final term at Windsor Park, and Launceston 105 lead North Hobart 31.
Pretty emphatic.
It is, and a 110-point margin at UTAS Stadium. As we look ahead to next week, North Launceston hosting Lauderdale at UTAS Stadium, so the Bombers and the Bombers. We've got Launceston hosting Glenorchy at Windsor Park. That could get ugly after what we've seen today, with North Bonnie, a very young team as well this season, and to do what they did to Glenorchy today. And Clarence will play their first game of the year. They've got the bye this weekend. That must suck, having the bye in the opening round.
Eager to get out there and get going, and you're just stuck on the sidelines watching everyone.
They'll host the Tigers at TBC, because we know the women's WNCL finals on at Blunston Arena tomorrow, so I'm not sure where that game will be played next Saturday afternoon. Do the Roos go back down to Richmond?
Definitely the pick of the games.
And the bye will go to North Hobart. So here we go, final term coming your way from Skybus Oval. Here is Andrew Cooling on the TSL live stream.
So it's the home side with it all to do as we start the final quarter here. A 3-point lead to the Bombers, a big wind advantage for the Tigers. We're off in the final term. Here's Kieran Lovell. He's been dangerous all day, and he quickly sends the Tigers inside 50, almost completing the Marquis lane, just taken away from him. Ground level, they'll scrap for it. Clearing kick's going to come right back at him, because creeping up the ground is Elijah Reardon. Will he pump it in deep? Will just take his time and pick a target. He eventually opts to send it to the forward pocket. The big ruckman there lurking again in Tompkinson. The snap from the angle, squares it up, and an opportunity here for Salter, who brings it down. And Connor Salter can hand the Tigers the lead in the opening minute of the final term.
Well, here we go. This is exactly what Lauderdale didn't want. This is the scoring end of the ground, and saw the Tigers kick a couple against the Tide in that third term, and the floodgates might open here, Drewy.
Yeah, big chance here. This has probably been the easiest pocket to kick goals from at the ground today. And he'll go back and he'll slide it through the middle, and they waste no time in reclaiming the lead, the Kingborough Tigers. It's 10-8-68, leads Lauderdale 10-5-65. A perfect start, and not at all what the Bombers were hoping. If they could have just dug in for the first 5-10 minutes and frustrated them, it would have just helped aid that belief, because we know they're up against it. But now they've got a deficit to haul in as well.
Yeah, they do. And what an addition, again, another good addition to this Tigers team. Connor Salter is a very experienced player at TSL and SFL level. And to get him back, kicked 2 goals this afternoon already, threaded that beautiful one against the Flow in that third term, and now another one to his name to start this opening quarter as we restart in the middle. Hayden Smith won it down. Clifford's in there. He's got big Hayden Smith all over him though, and the umpire will come and ball it up. Yeah, I really like what the Tigers have done over the summer months with their recruiting. Just topped up nicely. Kieran Lovell, the big one, of course, who's been brilliant this afternoon. Chasing this one down is Donnelly. Decides to go inside the centre square, but straight down the throat of Reece Sutton. He goes inside 50. Ball bouncing for Ed Stanley. He gets it out the back. Lauderdale, can they get one back? No, they can't. So little missed opportunity there for the Bombers. The Tigers bring it back out of defence, but chance here for the Bombers again. Smith. And now with the footy was Hooker. Centres the ball, but gobbled up by Ben Donnelly.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for the Bombers. You feel they're going to need to really take advantage of those kind of chances if they're any hope here. The Tigers swiftly move it to centre wing, and then punch down the line is a good one. It found Tyler Carter. It was played higher up the ground than we're used to today. This one sails all past everyone. Chasing after it is Campbell, but first back to the ball, all the Bombers' defence, and Luke Patton can carry it out now. No one near him, so he's able to just saunter out and chip it further afield to Broomhall. Gets it moving quickly. By hands back to Patton, who continued his run, but he ran straight to Elijah Reid and put him to the deck and forced the turnover. And they will get the ball back in the hands of Kieran Lovell. In the middle of Skybus Oval, he turns and sends them to half forward. It wasn't a very good kick on this occasion, though, from Lovell. And the relieving mark taken in defence there by Rackets. Went one way, then the other. And then sent one wide. It's really making the big fella Smith work for it. Works back. Retreats. And a little chip into space is a good one. So showing a little bit of patience here. Just trying to take the sting and tempo out of it. The Bombers. Very patient build-up. And again, it's a short kick and ends up nutmegging Kenny straight through his legs. To half forward. And again, another turnover. Neither team doing a particularly good job keeping hold of the footy for the time being. Hooker works it forward, found Walsh. Quickly by hands to Sutton. Sutton gave an absolute hospital ball to his teammate, who somehow made it work. Half forward they go, but parked there was Elijah Reardon. And just a slew of turnovers in this game at the moment, Brenner.
Yeah, a bit of back and forth, isn't it? Reardon goes long. That's a good mark. Big Jukes out in front from Carter. Carter goes along. Poland's there, though. Couldn't take the mark. Spills out the back door, though. And Lennon Marlin goes for a dash. Kicks it to the wing. And going back to the flight was Ashland. Now Cole got the handball out. And now a chance for the Tigers to go inside again. And that's mark not taken. Tompkinson was there, but turned around by the Bombers. But a good mark over the head from Zach Adams. Plays on quickly. Goes to the top of the square, out the back, Carter, but turning around, Luke Graham, and the Tigers get back-to-back goals to start this final term.
Couldn't believe his luck there, Luke Graham. Just sat up absolutely perfectly for him. That's the value of getting the ball in deep, creating that panic in defence. They needed to rush that one through from behind, couldn't do so. The spoil went back centrally, and Graham just duly accepting the gift that was presented to him. So, an 8-point advantage. And it's the Tigers sitting pretty in this one. And really, they should win the game from here. It's going to take an almighty effort from the Bombers to turn it around. They're going to need to win the ball out of the middle if they're going to do so.
Sounds silly saying that, doesn't it, with only an 8-point lead, but we know about this scoring end at Skybus Oval this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a massive advantage, and they'll go forwards once again, will the Tigers. They'll pump it in deep. Looking for the new cult hero there in Tompkinson. Mullet flowing in the breeze. And that one is through for a throw in deep inside forward 50.
Jordan Lane and Josh McGuinness having a few words there. Still going on.
There has been plenty going on off the ball in this contest. You said it from the outset, Brent. These two teams don't much like each other. And that has been evident. As
they said during the week, though, Dan Willing said they're pretty good mates off the field. They have a beer together and they see each other out. But when it comes to stepping over that white line on a Saturday afternoon, she's on for young and old.
And that's the spirit you want at play.
Exactly.
Hard on the field, off the field. Yep, that's different. We can get along and have a drink. Great to see.
So you wait the ball in here. Tompkinson and Smith. And now Will Campbell, was he taken high? He was indeed. So Soup Campbell and 50 metres to go with it. So the Tigers get another certain goal here. And that will give them a 14-point lead. And almost the fat lady might be singing here, Andrew Cooling, as Will Campbell lines up for a certain goal. He's missed a couple this afternoon, But this one goes straight through, and the Tigers continue to get the job done here in the final term.
Yeah, they kick away to a 14-point advantage, and that was just Nous experience, a bit of wiliness from Campbell. He angled his body expertly. He knew which direction the tackle was coming from, drew the high contact, and then I've got to assume a bit of abuse from further up the field at that decision has led to it being an absolute gimme. And again, ill discipline there, because the way William Campbell had been taking shots at goal today, it wasn't a sure thing despite being close. They made a certainty of it, but it wasn't until that 50, I don't reckon.
What do you make of the new rule with the umpires?
I think it's the best thing that they have done in rule changes in a decade. I think players will very quickly learn to adapt to it, and the sport struggles to attract umpires. I think it's a great move.
Good call.
And I love that there's no longer the protesting decisions and holding up the ball. Keeps the game moving quickly as Adams takes a mark. And they could extend the lead to 20 points, and they're quickly sailing off into the distance here, the Kingborough Tigers.
We thought the floodgates might open. As we said, they did well to stem Lauderdale in that third term because we knew there was a significant advantage to this right-hand side of the screen. And this would make it extremely, extremely tough if it wasn't already, if Adams converts successfully from here.
So this could be the dagger here from Adams. It's all one-way traffic to start the final quarter. Can he extend the Tigers' lead to 20 points? He can. It's a beautiful-looking kick. He leant back and swings it through. And the Tigers get goal number 13. They have come out firing in the fourth quarter, making the most of this wind advantage. And you mentioned the fat lady moments ago. I think I can hear her dulcet tones, Breno.
He's called it. Drew Cooling. What an entertaining contest, though. Great to see footy back and bring it to you thanks to the Daily Potato Co. on the live stream. Every game, as we mentioned, through the afternoon, streamed live this year on the AFL Tasmania YouTube page. They're there to catch up to as the week goes on. You can go back and watch a replay. Very nice setup as Eddie Cole gets the handball out. Gardner got it away to Dygan. Dygan inside 50. My man Tompkinson, he's got the ball here. He's trying to get rid of his opponent. And he's being pinged for holding the footy, has he?
Yeah, they've certainly gotten red hot on that interpretation this season.
Hooker. Goes inside the centre square. Players flew from everywhere but ends up in the hands of Eddie Cole. And now Blake McCulloch goes inside 50. Ball spills out the back, but only as far as the boundary line. To see a few people in watching this one at the ground this afternoon. Tell you what, Lauderdale Oval looks in mint condition too. It's often chopped up during the winter, but it's had a good summer by the look of things. It looks absolutely magnificent out there today. Cole gets it away. Tigers have a look at goal again, and there's another one in this final term. The lead now out to 26 points.
Yeah, they're piling it on. They are sailing off into the distance. We thought it might be the case. We said that they needed a 20 to 30 point lead heading into the final quarter to really feel they're going to be a chance, the Bombers. And despite losing on the scoreboard in the third quarter, an enormous effort has put them in position to win this one. And they are not relenting now with the wind at their backs.
Exactly right. So they'll be really happy with this. The Tigers looking to go a little better than their fourth position last year. They had a really good season last year. So as Trent Ballmiller said during the week, they've set the benchmark very high for themselves this year to try and better that. But they're one of the better teams in the TSL these days. As Lovell got it away. Clifford back to Reardon. Here they go again inside 50. And that mark is spilled in the end. Now Walsh. He goes to the commentary side wing. And that bounces just before the line. Right in front of us here in the commentary box for a boundary throw-in.
I love Elijah Reardon pushing up the ground and playing that distributor inside 50 role. He's such a lovely user of the football, and with his side dominating field position here in the final quarter, he's really been able to push up the ground and get to work. He's such a creative player.
Would have loved to have seen him as part of that North Melbourne COVID top-up list. We saw a few players from the TSL in that. And I thought, given he spent some time there last year, he might have been in the mix, but unfortunately not.
It would have been good to see. Obviously, I think we're going to see those COVID lists being tapped into. As an Eagles fan, you're very familiar with
Yes.
those protocols, Brent.
Yes.
But I think we're going to see lots of kind of players from various state leagues getting opportunities at the AFL this year. And we saw with, was it Hayes for St Kilda last week, there are plenty of talented players at the lower level out there just waiting to be given the opportunity. So hopefully a few of the TSL boys will get that opportunity throughout the year as Luke Graham has grown into this contest as it's gone on, and he'll pump this one deep, looking for the big fella once more. Tompkinson couldn't quite bring it down. Just getting rid of it in time was Walsh, volleying it from the angle and out of bounds on the full there. In the end was Lane. That would have been quite spectacular. But off target. And there'll be a free kick in the back pocket here for the Bombers, who I think know their race has been run now. They've battled hard. It's been a good contest, but the Tigers looking too strong from this afternoon. Just getting in the back a little there, I thought, was Graham. Allowed to get away with it. Tackle laid by Richmond, but the umpire spotted a free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Tigers. About halfway into this final quarter. As this one's sent deep to the top of the square, flying high, and but coming from behind was Tompkinson in the role of spoiler on that occasion. Tonight would have been a great mark. And then the tackle is laid by Griggs.
Just on that COVID top-up list for the Kangaroos, so we've got Ollie Sanders, former North Launceston, plays at Carlton VFL now, I think. He's one of the Tasmanians there. Brady Gray, who played for Fremantle. Jay Lockhart, who we know from the Melbourne Footy Club, and North Launceston Premiership player. Josiah Burling, Sam Collins, Michael Stingle and Alec Wright. They're the four North Melbourne guys. But, yeah, I mean, imagine Michael Stingle playing for North Launceston one week, then you get the call up to go and play at Marvel Stadium for North Melbourne against Collingwood or something. It'd just be unbelievable. But we can see with West Coast this weekend, it's a reality. It's something that can easily happen later this year. So, and that's the upside of COVID, I suppose, is giving these guys an opportunity. And you never know, they could impress straight away, get a spot on the list. It's quite exciting when you look at it that way.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you do get an opportunity, there's no better opportunity to get on an AFL list than by performing in an AFL game. You might only get one look at it, but if you play a barnstorming match, you may well end up on the full list the very next season. As the Tigers continue the attack here, slightly high tackle from Poland, I fancy. And it'll be another opportunity for the Tigers here. And it will be Tyler Carter going back.
Lost a bit of weight, Tyler Carter.
An opportunity here.
It's like to have slimmed down a little bit.
Well, he's played higher up the field today, hasn't he?
He has,
He's moved pretty well.
Yep.
Especially for a guy coming off an ankle surgery. He's moved very nicely. So we go back here and look to extend the advantage to 32 points. It's been an arm wrestle for much of the afternoon, but they have broken clear in quarter number 4, and Tyler Carter can't quite extend it as he just swung that one a little too far. The lead now out to 27.
Yes, approaching time on in the final term. Bombers bring it out of defence. Here is Siggins, takes a nice mark. A Lynch medalist, best and fairest in the TSL. Right at the back here. Clifford got it off. Now Gardner takes a strong overhead mark. Plays on quickly. Had someone on his tail, but got the kick away just in the nick of time. Carter juggled it. He's wrapped up though. Dropped the ball, but umpire let it play on. Walsh now went in hard. Tigers end up with it though through O'Neill. Comes out to Griggs. Griggs goes to the square. Tompkinson couldn't take it on that occasion. He's still got it alive though, has he? Out of bounce. So I have a ball in right forward pocket for the Tigers. They really will want to run away with this and start the season with a nice percentage if they can. Tompkinson and Smith. Tompkinson out the back, throws it on the boot. Wobbly kick towards goal, but it is offline for a behind. 16 scoring shots to 24 in this game.
They'll clear their lines here, opting to go by hand across to Poland, who's fought hard back there all day for his side. Just been overwhelmed with sheer weight of opportunities in the end. As they scrap away half forward, Elijah Reardon sends them inside 50. Brief look at the man there from Graham. McGuinness back there for the Bombers. Handball looking for Williams. Scooped it up. Missing his boot was Walsh. Might invite some trouble and slammed on the boot by Lane. Took an awkward bounce in the end. Sat for Marlon, who tumbles that one on the boot. Got no purchase on it whatsoever. Griggs goes back across to Salter. Salter squaring that one up. That was an intelligent kick. That was his teammate. About 50 out here, Riley Ashland. And with the wind at his back, the distance shouldn't be a problem. So the 28-point lead, you might as well go back and try and dob one.
Why not? Why not?
Riley Ashland. And he extend the Tigers' lead further. It's been a dominant final term. Insistent of scarcely past halfway. And Ashland gets underneath that one a little. Distance certainly not a problem, but the accuracy just missing on that occasion.
So the Bombers bring it back in. Siggins takes the mark. They go up the ground inside the centre square. Punched from behind from Gardner. Walsh wrapped up in a tackle. Turnover here from the Tigers. Clifford goes to his left. Just overshot it there to O'Neill. Still time for him though. To suppose if his opponent might be a free kick, it is to Flynn Rackett. McGuinness, Siggins, the Lauderdale superstars combining. Got it off to Patton. Now they're away here up the far side of the ground. Patton again, Richmond. And eventually, no, it's still in play. Clifford now for the Tigers though. Reardon is there to place the tackle. Player of the footy was Fergus Kenny, and the umpire will ball it up. Almost at time on in this final term. Tigers leading it by 29 points. It's been a good quarter for them. Clifford overshot it, ends up with Siggins, Sutton, and Patton again, legged. Sutton drives it to the paint of 50, and that might be a free kick. No, it's against the Lauderdale player. It goes to the Tigers. Surprise decision, that one, Drewy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. 6 and 1, half a dozen the other, I thought. Anyway, we've done a pretty good job, the umpires today, so we shan't be too critical. Very difficult sport to umpire this one, as O'Neill trying to make waves. Yeah, I think on the whole it's been pretty well umpired. You're always going to miss a couple here or there. And they tend to even themselves out over the course of a season. But, we're nearing the end of this one. The Tigers have got this one well in hand. A 29-point lead. As it one's one down by Smith. Sweeping handball back inside, just through the legs of his teammate. Might allow the Bombers to get a bit of a counter-attack going here, and they do so. A couple of nice handballs. Ratcliffe will now send them inside 50. Good fist from behind, though. Spoiling the pressure came. Looking to turn was Continenza. Quick handball to Ratcliffe, had him under pressure. They've done well to keep a hold of the footy under the pressure here, the Bombers, but they've just bitten off a little more than they could chew there, Bryce Walsh. The umpire this time has paid one the way of the Bombers for an over the shoulder there. And Walsh will go back, although a tough kick given the wind here. We're going from the paint of 50. And opts to just square it to a teammate instead. A good option as he finds Reece Sutton. Go back and try and find the Bombers' first goal in this final quarter. Been a tough quarter for the Bombers forwards. The ball really hasn't been down there a whole lot.
24 and a half minutes gone at Windsor Park. Lonnie's brought up the ton. They lead North Hobart by 102 points, 133 to 31.
Yikes. Sutton will go back. He'll kick from 40 metres out. And the goal umpire dancing a little just offline to the right. 28 points now, the margin.
The Tigers have it in their back line. Will Campbell Decides to go to the wing. Big fly from behind from the Dale. Ends up working to their advantage, but only as far as the Kingborough defenders, and another ball up will take place on the 50-metre arc for the Bombers. So big wins today to Launceston and North Launceston, and the Tigers will register their first 4 points of the season here at Skybus Oval against Lauderdale. It's been an impressive display from Kingborough, and there's still time for more damage to be done. They go to half forward and waste no time playing on. Players fights it. Oh, mark not taken by Lane. Got it off. And now Clifford is wrapped up to get the handball away. Bombers turn it over. Smith and now Siggins bursting through the middle here at Skybus Oval. He's got Stanley on offer. He plays on straight away. Ed Stanley goes to 50. Sizes up the goals. Bouncing ball, but it's across the face and out of bounds.
Yeah, it took an unfortunate bounce, that one. And ended up well away from the goal. It pitched in the goal square and turned. Absolute mile there. But probably not a bad result. And try and lock the ball in here and find a consolation goal here late on the Bombers. So all tossed back into play. Siggins cast in the role of ruckman. Tigers clear the air and a little chip up to Lachlan Clifford, who's had plenty of the football today. This game has worn on, and we seem to have more and more of it. Here's Kieran Lovell. Just happy to take the sting out of this contest now. The Bombers, or the Tigers rather. This one's chipped to Tyler Carter. A successful return to action for Tyler Carter today. He'd be feeling it first full game after a long layoff. He'll be blowing hard after that. As this one's just launched down the wing. And off hands. Sweeps it across half back. Just about run down. The camera operator's rather gone to sleep, I think. And the Tigers now will go inside 50. Sends it forward and the mark is taken. There'll be another opportunity. My eyes aren't good enough to tell you who it is. Any danger of zooming in there, Chief?
Some technical issues at the moment from Skybus.
So the Tigers will look to extend their advantage. He saunter in and sets sail from 40 out. And the celebrations tell
Who's
the
kicked
story.
it, Drewy?
I have no idea, Breno. They're out to a 34-point lead, I can tell you that much. Goal number 15. The Tigers 15 goals 11. Lauderdale 10 goals 7, 67. And they have really routed them in quarter number 4, the Tigers. And apparently put our cameraman to sleep in the process.
Well, full time, I can tell you, Windsor Park, 102-point win to Launceston, 139 to 37. So the reigning premiers picked up where they left off in 2021, and they're 0.7% ahead of North Launceston on the ladder. They're 375.7. North Lonnie are 375.0.
It's pretty dominant start to the season. That's about as big a thumping as you'll see dished out in round 1. Been pretty ruthless stuff from the two Launceston sides. They're going to be the front runners this year, I think. Brett.
Absolutely.
I think everyone expects that. We'd like to see the likes of Kingborough rise up and push them, but it's going to be a tough ask hauling them in. But Kingborough have put their best foot forward here this afternoon at Skybus Oval and have registered a 34-point victory over the Lauderdale Bombers. It was pretty emphatic stuff, and largely you'd have to say won in that third quarter where they were able to keep it close at three-quarter time. They were always going to be able to come home with the wet sail with the wind at their backs, and that is precisely what they did.
Yeah, impressive display by the Tigers. Love what they did this afternoon. Love their inclusions. We saw My man, of course, Jack Tompkinson, do really, really well. Connor Salter kicked a couple of goals. Kieran Lovell was the typical ball magnet that we've grown used to. So they're going to be fantastic again in 2022. What do you say to your group if you're Dan Willing at the moment, the Lauderdale coach? You happy with what you've seen today, Drew?
I think he'd be pretty happy with the first half. The effort was good. They were matching it with them on the scoreboard. Third quarter maybe just got run over a little bit. I think there's plenty of positives to take. They've probably got more players to come back into their best 22 than the Tigers do. So I think the message would be there's some positives. We need to take a look at the second half a little bit and see where we went wrong. But it's a long season and a round one match is not going to define it. Although certainly a pretty tough ask for them to bounce back next week with that road trip north, as you mentioned, Brent.
Absolutely. So big win to the Tigers here this afternoon, 101-67. 34-point winners. A great start for them in season 2022. Hope you enjoyed the coverage on the Daily Potato Co. live stream. We'll catch you next weekend for more TSL action.
G'day, mate. Sorry about the end. No. Well, with 30 seconds to go and the thing's packed in. So anyway, no, it's my old faithful. I've got it working again, but I don't know for how long. So anyway, all good. Anyway, mate, we soldier on. Cheers.